welcome to Legstep Radio, the radio ready for rapture. As usual, I am your host, DJay32, and today we're going to be doing something special, by which I mean something that we've kind of done before. Well, we haven't done this exact thing before, but we've done this general kind of thing before. And I've actually attempted to do this exact thing before, but things keep on crashing. But hopefully we'll get around through it today. This is just here so you can't see what I'm doing, what we're actually going to be doing. So yeah, what we're actually going to be doing, let me show you right now, is read Eccentrically Bored, written by Lizardbite. Bit of background information for you. Lizardbite was one of the 3 founding members of the Fear Mythos, along with the Alliterator and Cute Lava. And Eccentrically Bored was, I believe, his first blog. I also believe that it's where the Archangel debuted. I read Eccentrically Bored way back when, around when we were first starting. And it was certainly a good blog, certainly very good by Slenderblog standards, and by Fearblog standards it's a classic. But I never actually read its sequel, so we will be doing that today, along with reading through Eccentrically Bored, of course. Right. So, if you want to read along, you've got the video right here, but the URL is eccentricallybored.blogspot.com. I've got .co.uk because I'm in jolly old England. And I believe the first post is this one, New Blog Ahoy, and not the 1991 post. This isn't Mephi here, this is just non-linear. But right. I haven't read a blog like this out loud in so long, so we'll see if my voice can handle it. It probably will be able to. There's no reason why it wouldn't. I'm rambling. I'll skip the dates because that's what I do. New Blog Ahoy! Sup bitches, name's Joey Stewart. So, I was just laying around, doing nothing, and realized that life is really damn boring. So, in an attempt to spice up my boring life, I decided to start a blog, so I can post about my life and have a good laugh. I'm not sure how sharing my boring life with other people will help spice up my own life, but hey, a lot of people are bloggers, so there's gotta be something to it, right? Maybe it'll give me some kind of meaning or something, I don't know. Anyway, they say she comes on a pale horse, but I'm sure I hear a train. I hope to post some more stuff this week and tell you all about my awesome adventures. Till then, Joey out. So we've been introduced to our protagonist, Joseph Stewart. As you can tell. Valentine's Day. Blag. Traditionally, single people are supposed to bitch and moan about being alone when Valentine's Day comes around. I'm going to refrain from doing that. I do, however, reserve the right to bitch and moan about the ubiquitous presence of the color pink. I really hate that color. It is a terrible color. Anyway, posting this from my laptop at school, which I got for Christmas. The laptop, not the school. I was about to point that out. My resolution just randomly changed so that everything on the screen was jumbo-sized. And then it changed back to normal a few seconds later. Now that is what I call really effing weird. I'll be at work tomorrow, so don't expect much. See ya! So we've established that he goes to school and as a job. Heard a noise. So I heard a noise outside, looked out my window and didn't see anything. A few minutes later I heard it again, like a scratching sound. And checked outside. Nothing. The quiet. And then I heard it again, and went outside, and it was really cold. Cold boy. And some dog was out in the front yard. Black dog. It saw me, barked, and then ran off. I went back inside and was bothered by no more noises. Quiet. That's messed up. So check this article from the Virginian Pilot. Now that is some messed up shit right there. Page not found. Wow, that is really messed up. I can't believe that there's no page there. Shit. For those of you too lazy to check, basically they found a teenage girl washed up on the beach, dead, but she wasn't drowned. Eat. The body was covered in bruises, and a lot of her bones were broken. The working theory is that she was beaten to death and dumped in the ocean. What else would it be? It's kind of obvious. What the hell is wrong with people that they do something like that? I'm sorry, but that's just sick. In other news, I have to go get ready for school. See ya. I'll get the hang of it eventually. Work. Work sucks, but since I work at a construction site, it's also pretty cool. Okay, sorry, that didn't make much sense. Anyway, what I mean to say is, expect some pics of the job site soon. Now, I'm mixed in this post, because it's like, you didn't need one post for this. I guess it is kind of more realistic, but I feel like it's just I guess it's just an artifact of earlier blogging, when we were trying to be more realistic than stuff. Weekend. Oh, thank God for the weekend. I'm so tired from work and school and shit. By the way, you know that girl I mentioned before? The one who washed up on the beach? They figured out who she was, apparently. Turns out the body didn't drift here from someplace far away. She was a local. So now I have to deal with the fact that there may be a killer nearby? Great. School sucks. Ugh. School sucks. Especially when you've completely forgotten to, like, do any homework and stuff over the weekend. I hope that doesn't screw up my grade too badly. By the way, those construction site pics are forthcoming, so just hold your stinking horses, lady. I went from Butthead to Weird Al. Been busy. Wow, 4 followers. Now it's 41. Maybe my life is interesting. Okay, fuck you. I didn't mean to click on that, but... Or maybe it's just that there are 4 people out there who lead more boring existences than I do. Whatever. So to those 4, I'm sorry I haven't updated in a few days. I've just been really busy. I promise to try and update more often. And those construction site pics are coming, I swear. Wind47 said... I haven't updated much either. There's still like one last part to my review. Damn it. That's not my impression of his voice, it's just me trying to come up with distinctive voices. There we go. Another one. So, it seems like there's been another death, like that girl from before, the one that washed up on the beach. Page not found. This new body was some kid that was... Wait, I'm still dramatic, what the hell? This new body was some kid that was dumped near where they found the girl. Same injuries as she had, too. The police suspect a serial killer. That's pretty freaky. I mean, on some level, a part of me is kind of interested, like, oh hey, a real-life serial killer. But on the other hand, a real-life serial killer. Like, watch your back and be very careful. I'm glad I don't live that close to the beach. Smiling Man. You're in danger. Get out! That's my impression of Peter Rivers. The construction site pics. Hey guys, so here's the pics I promised. Sorry it took so long. The woodlands just outside the site. Huh. Another picture, I don't know the caption to it. Right? I'm just... Because I remember that Lizard Bite did say that the Slender Man is in one of these pictures. I think it did. I don't remember. It's been like a year. But if he was in these pictures, I could never find him. Ever. So I guess we'll see. And then that's a thing I know. The twin triangles, even though there's actually 4 triangles there. Forget your heart at? Here's a loner. Look at the building from afar, the building in progress, the crawl space under the building, another crawl space pic, a spare heart hat for anyone who forgot. There was one other picture, but I didn't upload it because it had some weird glitches or whatever. Stupid phone camera. Oh well, I think these are pretty neat. And they're good for phone pictures, Jesus Christ. What? Oh, nothing, Jesus. You can go away now. Oh, okay. Allergies. Ugh. I woke up today with a huge headache, a stuffy nose, and a bad cough. The cough and headache have since gone away, but the stuffiness remains. But the memory remains. Must be allergy season creeping up on me. Seems kinda early this year, no? Plague Doctor! I also keep flipping my phone open and looking at that glitched up picture I mentioned last post. For some reason I like it. I guess the glitches make it look neat? I don't know. Maybe I'll post it to this blog later. And my headache's coming back. I need to go lie down for a while. I had to lie down earlier, because I was feeling lightheaded. I'll talk about that later. The glitched picture. Can't sleep. Clown will eat me. Head is throbbing too much. I keep just looking at this picture. The camera screwed up really badly, but I feel like there's still something there. I don't know, I can't really explain it. I just feel drawn to this picture somehow. Anyway, here it is, laying it on a little bit too thick. Cough, cough, cough. Short. Short's not a real word. Anyway, here it is. Intrusion. I need to go take some NyQuil or something. I'm seriously tired, but my head just refuses to let me sleep. And this damn picture, staring at it in the dark, is really straining my eyes. Why would you look at... Oh, right, phone. I forgot about that. For a second there, I thought it was like it was an actual photograph, like in his hands. He was just staring at it in the dark. Peter Rivers said, "You don't happen to have acquired a pocket watch in the last few weeks, have you?" Joey replied, "Why would I? You know what? Never mind. None of your responses make sense." Candace C. Bride said, "Peppermint oil always helps my headaches. At least it allows me to function. BTW, stay out of the woods." I don't know what voice that was. I don't even know who the hell this character is. Let's find out. Candace Bride or Candace. What? Wait, why would you say past chapters, but they're books? This is a short book. How long is it? What is this? Wait. This is... Wow. Where did this come from? Why did they comment on Blizzard Bites? But when did they comment on it? Fucking 2011? What? Table of contents. This is table of contents. God damn. I just... What? Why am I still looking at this? Right. Well. Anyway. A little self-reflection. My head's cleared up, though I've still got the sinus issues. Anyway, some of you 5 follower people may be wondering why I never mention anything about going out with friends or anything like that. Well, I guess it's that I just don't make friends easily. I don't know why. I just don't really connect or click with whatever people. I gotta, like, just make a comment here just to say that, like, I've got a life now, and I hang out with friends once a month, and it's completely fine. So, I mean, it's not a criticism of this at all, and it's something I've noticed. But anyway. Oh, I had friends in high school, but then we graduated in colleges and shit. They all moved away to attend at schools out of state, and I stayed here in boring old Virginia. Yeah, I admit it, I get pretty lonely sometimes. Maybe that's why I decided to start this blog. It gives me something to do to take my mind off things. My life is incredibly boring and my existence is incredibly lonely. But maybe, just maybe, this blog can give me some sort of purpose. Well, I guess purpose is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put into words. So basically, I'm a socially retarded 19-year-old virgin with a blog. How compelling, right? Ha! Humor makes it easier to live with myself. Oh, Joey. I've got a lot of things I could say to that. Gas masks? Just looked out the window and saw some guy in a hoodie out in the street. The weird thing is that his hood was up and he was wearing a gas mask. No friggin' clue why. It freaked me out at first because it looked like he was staring at my window, but then he just turned and kept walking down the road. I must be getting paranoid. With that serial killer on the loose and my lack of any good sleep recently, I'm jumping at everything. Still though, why a gas mask? To also comment on this, living in Mevagissey, I often look out my window and see people staring into my window, and then they just turn and keep on walking. It comes with living in a tourist town. Now, Virginia doesn't have tourist towns, from what I've gathered. It does seem like a really boring place, so I just felt like mentioning it. What the fuck? Or as the URL puts it, what fuck? I got home from work, checked my email, and someone sent me a link to this video. Whoever did this, it's not funny. Go fuck yourself. I meant to do that in a book or whatever. Run, Joey Stewart. Der Grobmann kommt.
No, just hit what?
Okay.
Yeah. Have a red light flash.
Touchdown! Right. Just felt like looking at that. Paranoia? Today is Ash Wednesday from Pallet Town, and my mom insisted that I meet her at church to get ashes on my forehead. So after Mass, I drove home, and that's when my head started throbbing again. This was different from the last few times, though. The pain was more intense, and I had trouble concentrating. I was seriously afraid that I would black out at any moment and get into a crash. Anyway, there's this playground near my house, and I was passing it. That's what he says. And I was passing it. Going real slow and careful. I noticed a weird man there. He was wearing a business suit, and he was just standing there. He was me. That is me, Jordan. Children were running all around him, but he seemed completely unfazed. I couldn't get a good look at his face, but I swear to God he was watching my car. Yeah, that sounds exactly like me when I walk home from school, or college. Because I do actually have a business suit now, and I actually do wear it. And I pass by a park, and kids are always playing there. And I will just casually walk through, and I'll tend to, well, I don't stare at people, that will be a bit creepy, but still. Anyway, the headache was starting to let up when I got home, but for some reason that guy in the suit had me terrified. I called up the police and I tried to tell them everything. The guy in the suit, that fucked up video, even the gas mask dude. I told them I was being followed, but I'm not sure if they actually believed me. Fucking cops. Fuck the police. Isn't it their job to look into stuff like this? How could they just brush me off like that? Anyway, about an hour later, these two government types show up at my house. See, why would you say that they brushed you off when you get the freaking government people coming to your house? This isn't rapture. You weren't corrected in the middle of a sentence. You're writing this after it's all happened. You could have chosen not to write that the cops brushed you off. So, you're just stupid. Anyway. Right. Introduce themselves as being part of some weird organization with a name I can't remember. SMC? MSM? S&M? I don't know. They asked me a few questions about the suit and the video and gas mask. I answered as best as I could, and offered to show them the video, but they just shook their heads and told me they wouldn't see what I saw. The fuck does that mean? My name is right there in the video. Even I could see it. They just left, and my parents are concerned. They offered to find me a psychiatrist, since those agents said I might be suffering from paranoia. Maybe I am just paranoid. Ever since these murders started, I've been jumping at everything. Actually, come to think of it, it's only been since the headache started. Also, I don't know if you can hear noises in the background. That's because Memphis is a loud town. Feeling fine. I visited a shrink today. Told him everything. He didn't believe me, though. No one ever believes me. Showed him the video. He didn't see my name. No one sees my name. Did you see my name, viewers? Did you? He gave me pills. Said they would help. I took them. They help. I kinda like that. No one ever gives me things anymore. No one wants to be around me. I don't think I understand people very well. I make them scared and uncomfortable. Or maybe they make me scared and uncomfortable so we never get along. All my friends left and went away, so no one ever wants to be my friend anymore. Wants. That's funny. That makes me sad. I don't like to be sad. I like to be happy. Do you like to be sad, viewer? The pills keep the sad away. I like the pills. I can't keep it straight, but I don't think I care anymore. I don't care that I'm gonna be friends. Sometimes when I'm lying in my bed, I hug a pillow and pretend I'm hugging someone. Me too! I haven't had a hug in a month and a half. I never hug people. I don't get along with people very well. But I don't care anymore. I don't care that I'm alone. I don't care that even my family thinks I'm weird. I don't care that there's been another murder. I don't care that people think I'm crazy. I don't care that I have to take these pills. I don't care that an empty face is in the window. I don't care about the video. I don't care that Hess watching me. I don't care. I feel fine. Okay. I can already completely see where this is gonna go. The Slenderman. Whatever it was the doctor gave me, it really messed me up. I don't even remember typing out that post last night. I can actually empathize with like everything that he's saying. Except for the pills. I don't take medicine. I would like to, but I don't. But there's something in it that really bugs me. What is the empty face? Empty city! That doesn't make any sense, never mind. I've been doing some research. Went to Google. Look for men in suits. I'm just picturing I'm finding a lot of porn. And anyway, right. So, I did a search last night for Marble Hornets, and you wanna know what I find? Sorry, I couldn't resist. Stalking, empty face, stuff like that. Anyway, I came across another stuff about a so-called... What? I came across another stuff about a so-called... Oh, no, I get it now. About a so-called Slender Man. Some kind of creature that looks like a man in a business suit, but with no face, who stalks people, drives them mad, tears out their intestines. It all sounds like a bad horror story, but I'm not so sure. Is that what's happening to me? That video mentioned a Grobe man. Tall man. Along with an image of what these blogs and articles refer to as an operator symbol. But the blogs and articles aren't the only things that refer to it as that. It is officially an operator symbol. That is what it is actually called. Never mind. His symbol. As crazy as it sounds, I think it's real. and whatever the Slender Man is, it's following me. One thing I don't understand. What is the Archangel? I remember one of the blogs I found when the Slender Man was referred to as the Angel of Death. Are they the same thing? Is it just another name? Too many questions. Not enough answers. I'm scared. I need to take my medicine. This reminds me of an inside joke between Fancy and I, but I'm not going to get into that. One comment by C. March. This is much worse than you realize. I'm going to do that in a better voice. This is much worse than you realize. I don't know. Couldn't think of a good voice for that. No worries. Well, I may as well point out, like, while I'm doing this, my problem with this post is just that I just personally, I hate it when stories go, well, actually, this one kind of works. I was gonna say I hate it when stories point out that the Slenderman's a story, or when they look it up on the internet. This works. It does. It doesn't point out the Slenderman's just a story. It implies that he's real. It implies that it's just mythology. It's like looking into stories of vampires or something like that. Anyway, no worries. Gas mask outside again. I think he was a killer. Killed 3 people, beat them to death, left their bodies at the beach. Splash. He's watching my window. Think he's watching me. Been standing there for 15 minutes, just watching. But I'm not worried. Not as long as I take my medicine. Anonymous said, "Damn it, stop mentioning the murders, it makes me hungry." The World in Flames. I'm sure that's a song. He was outside again, the Slender Man. I don't know why I did it. Maybe my mind was still under the pill's influence, but when I saw him standing out there, I went outside. I walked right toward him and stopped about a meter or 2 away from him, and I asked him a simple question. What do you want? Of course he didn't say anything. I don't know if I expected him to, with 2 O's, but he moved. He lifted his arm, and I just stood there and watched as his hand melted away, revealing tendrils of complete blackness crawling forth from his body. They stretched out toward me, and their tips settled on my forehead. They were cold to the touch, cold boy, and my skin felt stiff whenever they made contact. Wooden girl, and suddenly I wasn't standing in my front yard anymore. Empty city! I was in a great city. Empty city! Under a black sky. Quiet! All around me, buildings crumbled and fell as flames engulfed them. Burning bride! Ash fell from the sky. Ash Ketchum! Covering everything the flames did not. Before my eyes, the eye! Gas mask floated down from the heavens to stand before me, and I swear he was smiling under that mask. Smiling man! I looked... Sorry, I don't know why that made me laugh. I'm just picturing the smiling man just putting on a gas mask and just floating around. The smiling man is secretly an Archangel cosplayer. Anyway. I looked up to see where he had come from, and I saw nothing. Be quiet! Oh, I felt something. I felt eyes watching me. The eye! I felt wings flapping in the skies. Convocation! I felt a presence concentrated in the world above, but at the same time lingering all around me. I looked up into that great empty void, and a single thought filled my mind. Enemy. And then I was lying in my bed, as if I had awoken from a dream. Grotesque! I sat up, and I looked out my window just in time to see Slender Man fade away into the night. And standing in front of his retreating form, I saw myself. My body crumbled when his tendrils left my skin, and I seemed to just sink into the grass below. What? Anonymous. Oh, so you're a Slender proxy now. I will find you, kill you, and eat you. Okay, since I went Bane halfway through, let me try the whole thing as Bane. Oh, so you're a Slender proxy now. I will find you, kill you, and eat you. And only then will you have my permission to die. Knox replied, Well, I hope you at least used a fork. Tasha Elaine replied, Lol. Or rather, carrot lol. Right. Attacked. I had a night class today, and the instructor let us out early. My car was in a parking garage on the other side of campus, so it was a sort of long walk. Anyway, you say anyway a lot. After a few minutes of walking, I realized that someone had been walking behind me since I left class. Whoever it was, they were keeping their distance, though. And let's face it, with everything that's happened, I could just be jumpy, so I ignored my mysterious follower. Big mistake. As I was opening my car door, she just ran up behind me, grabbed me by the hair, and slammed my head against the car door. Hot. I was disoriented, so I wasn't really able to fight back as she threw me to the ground and started kicking me in the ribs. I managed to get my wits back around the time the knife came out. The girl stabbed down at me, and she managed to get some skin off my shoulder, but I was able to roll away in time to avoid any serious damage. She kicked at me again. Got me right in the chest. Damn, that hurt. But I was able to kick at her knees and scramble to my feet. She fell when I kicked her, and I managed to get into my car and get the fuck out of there. It wasn't until I got home that I realized that I recognized her. Her face had been all over the news just a few weeks ago. She was the first victim. They found her body on the beach. I was attacked by a dead girl. I was attacked by a fucking dead girl. C. Marsh said, wait, no, C. Marsh, no, C. said, "Don't worry, I'm coming to help you." Anonymous said, "Go, Archangel, rid the world of the Slender Man." That's not my best band accent. Pingo said, "Go, Slender Man, rid the world of Archangel." Knox said, "Would be quite the showdown, P." Tasha Elaine said, "The ultimate showdown, O." Calm. I'm calm now. Dead people attack. Zombies. Zombies moan and groan and tear the flesh off with their teeth. No zombies here, though. Alone. Always alone. I don't know who you are, C. I don't need you. Go away. Medicine protects me. Just keep thinking of Fancy's inside joke with me about what medicine really is. But anyway, pills are lies. Yesterday, I went to see that psychiatrist again. I thanked him for the pills he gave me, told him they were a big help. He just looked at me with his confused, concerned look in his face and said, "I never gave you any pills." When I got home, I flushed all the pills down the toilet. Then I lay in bed, trying to push everything out of my mind. It wasn't easy. The Slender Man was outside my window again, watching me. Just picture him just standing out there, just watching inside, and just silently nodding and going, "Yeah, that's right." Where was I going with that? I was going to say something funny, but I completely lost it. There's something to do with Slender Man masturbating. I don't know. My hands are shaking, and I keep seeing things. I think I'm going to withdrawal. C said, what was the accent? Okay. "Just hang tight. I'll be in Virginia in a few days. Trust me, I can help you." Anonymous said, "No, C. Let the Archangel handle it." I'm getting bad at Bane voices now. Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead? Living dead girl. Knox. Rob Zombie. Or Rob Zombie. There we go. Dreams and cats. Last night, I dreamed that I was in a long hallway, and the walls were made of light and shadow, and as I walked I got less and less tired, and then I ran, and then I was suddenly in Iran. That was a pun. In a field, and Slender Man and Gas Mask were both there, on opposite sides of the field, watching me. Football field. They're football teams. They're both quarterbacks. And it's the last inning. Wait. Last inning? What the hell? Last quarter. Last inning. They're playing baseball at the same time. It's Eldritch. When I woke up, there was a white cat looking into my face. G-Cat. I don't own any pets. The cat climbed up onto my bed and then up the ceiling, and I saw that its body was a Slender Cat. Wait, I meant Spider Cat. It's a Spider Cat. Not Slender Cat. What the hell? It's incredibly long. It reached the ceiling and kept twisting and circling around like a snake. I never saw its hind legs. I blinked and the cat was gone. I'm starting to regret getting rid of those pills. Shauna said, "Don't regret it. Those pills were messing with your head. Withdrawal is awful, but it's better than the fact that those pills made you not care at all. How are you going to keep yourself safe from an eldritch abomination if you just don't care?" Return of the headaches. I think I found what I missed the most about the pills. I never had any headaches when I took them. Now my head is throbbing again, and I just know, that he is outside my window again. Slender man. Oh God, let me say this finish. Oh God, moon, Hans won't stop shocking. I can't remember the Finnish accent anymore. That's not a very good one. My head hurts so much, and my hands used to shocking. Will I ever get over this? EO just wants this EO just want this end. I want things to go back to normal. Today I jumped into the wall because I thought there was an entranceway there. I see what's not there, and I don't see what is there. I wanted my medicine. C said, "No, you don't need those pills. Listen, I'm in Virginia now. Once I find you, I can help you. I know what it's like to be hunted. I've been on the run for 5 years." Oh God, this really is Batman in between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. "Trust me, Joey. You want freedom from this? We can find it." Anonymous said, "I know it's too late to stop anything that's happened, so whatever. Screw you, see?" That's not a very good Bane voice. Woke up in the middle of the night. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to rock? Cheap trick. Notes. I got home today and found 2 notes waiting for me. The first was in the mailbox. If you've been reading the comments, then you know someone called C has been commenting on this blog. Well, he left me a message. He wants to meet in person. C, I understand if you mean well, but I really am not in a mod to meet someone at the moment. The second note, well... Do you believe in hell? We can lead you to heaven. This was on my better tomb door. See? Did you leave this? Stay the fuck away from me. Just stay the fuck away from me. The Archangel. I just got home from my weekly psychiatrist visit. He gave me some medicine, different kind than last, but I'm not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it anymore. Best be careful. I'm just now beginning to calm down after the last pill fiasco. Anyway, I stumbled across a blog called Brighter Than a Spoon, and as I read it, something clicked in my head. There's more out there than just Slender Man. And of course, I've already done this blog. I've already read it out loud on a thingy video. So if you really want to read it, you can. Or you can look up the video of me reading it out loud. It was a good blog. It was by Alliterator, and Alliterator is, of course, one of my favorite fear bloggers. But anyway, what if I've been looking at this the wrong way? What if Archangel isn't just... what if Archangel isn't just another name for Slender Man? What if the Archangel is something completely different? It would certainly make sense. Hell, it would explain a lot. But I can't find any information on it besides biblical angels, and somehow I doubt they're the same thing. Please, if anyone knows anything about this Archangel, tell me. C said, "This is the last time I'm going to say it. We need to talk. I've been on the run from the Archangel for years." Joey said, "You know what? Fine. Whatever. Where and when?" Crystal story. I knew that C was Crystal. I just kept on going with the Batman voice. I met C today. Her name is Crystal. She's 26 years old, 7 years older than me. We met at a library at 5 p.m. 8 and 5! About 3.5 years ago. She's a really pale woman with dark sunken-in eyes and long, tangled, unevenly cut hair. But what color's her hair? She was wearing a bunch of old clothes, and I think I saw some crust in the fabric. I don't want to know how long it's been since she washed them. We sat down at a table in the back of the library. Obviously, I can't remember the exact words of our conversation, but I'll try my best to get this as accurate as possible. "So," I said as we sat down, "you're C?" "Crystal will do," she told me. "I was in a library in Los Angeles when I found your blog." They have libraries in Los Angeles? She ignored my little attempt at a joke. "I don't know what I was looking for exactly. I guess I was trying to find some evidence of its existence. Of its existence. Anyway, I somehow found your blog, and I saw the twin triangles in one of your pictures." I interrupted her here. Or there. "You saw the what?" "The twin triangles. That's what I call it anyway. It's a symbol. 2 triangles, one upside down, overlapping each other. I don't know if it's some sort of official name, but the symbol shows up wherever it does. Those pictures you posted of that construction site, it was scratched into a wall. That's how I knew the arch angle was targeting you." We were silent for a moment, and then I asked, "What is the arch angle?" She shook her head. "I don't know exactly. Some sort of thing. I guess the best way to explain it will be to explain how I met it." She hesitated. "I was born and raised in Philadelphia. On the playground is where I spent most of my days. My family had me, my mom, my dad, and my older brother David. Anyway, about 6 years ago, I got in one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, 'You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air.' My brother was killed in a car accident." She hesitated again. "He was dead." Yes, we gathered that he was dead. That's what killed means. "I helped clean out his room. I saw them put the coffin on the ground. Or in the ground, whatever. But he was there too. At the funeral. The cemetery. I saw him just standing there behind a tree, watching." There was a long pause after that. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't think of what. Thankfully, she continued before anything came to mind. "I kept seeing him throughout the next few weeks, standing outside my window, walking across the street. I saw him in the mall once. He was shopping at Gap. He was following me on Tumblr. I thought I was going crazy. I never told anyone, though. Just kept it to myself. Then one night, I was at a party. I was walking back to my car, drunk out of my mind. And he was there in the passenger seat." "How do you know? You might have been drunk about that." "Nearly shocked me into sobriety. Then he attacked me." It was at this point that I was reminded of my own encounter with one of the recently departed. "I don't remember much of that night," Crystal continued. "Most of it's blur." "But what about most of it's blur?" "Somehow I managed to get away. I guess I must have gone sober at some point, since I managed to get home without wrecking. That's when I found the first note. It was written in my brother's handwriting. It had the twin triangles drawn on it and said something about how I should embrace the arch angle. No capital letters either. I went to my room, locked the door and windows, and curled up in my bed. I don't think I slept at all that night. It was like that for the next few weeks. Notes left at my door, my brother, and I started seeing other people too. People I know who had died. My grandma, my uncle. I never saw them together. I don't think the arch angle can use more than one body at a time." I interrupted her again here. "What?" "That's what it does. Or at least that's what I think it does. The arch angle. I don't think it has a physical body, so it needs to use the dead to interact with the world. Anyway, after a few more weeks of this, I just withdrew all my money from the bank, quit my job, left a few messages for the people who knew me, and ran. I managed to sneak out across the border, down to the States, and I've been running ever since, taking up whatever jobs are available to me to keep the cash flowing. But the arch angle's never been far behind. so I had to keep moving. She leaned back, and I realized for the first time that there were tears in her eyes, and she had been struggling not to cry since she started the story. I don't know why it's after me, and I don't know why it's after you, and I don't know anything about a slender man either. But, Joey, listen to me. You have to run. This thing won't just let you go. If you stay here, you'll die, and that thing will take your body and start parading around with it. You can come with me if you want, just don't stay here. I don't feel like posting the rest of what happened. We made out! I'm sorry, guys, but there's a lot I need to think about. I'm gonna get a drink of Dr. Pepper right now. My voice is killing me after that. I love Dr. Pepper. Well, I like Dr. Pepper. Hello. You have chosen, Joey Stewart, to reject us. We are unhappy. Run along. Find the stranger! He cannot protect you. He can not protect you. I mean, he can, but he also cannot. That's funny. Embrace the archangel. Wait. Archangel? Archangel. Embrace the archangel. Archangel, what the hell? I'm getting mixed up already. Decision. I woke up today to find that somewhat threatening post on my blog. I'd love to say my account was hacked. I'd love to say that someone had gotten a hold of my password. But I saw this. I waited for it to load. What should I post to my blog today? I just like the picture that was just the Archangel's random attempt at, like, just an artsy video. Or, like, that was his idea, his way of updating, like, his Facebook. God damn it, advertisements.
It's too strong. Can't take it. Watch.
Hey, how you doing? Jack Scalfani here.
I actually wouldn't mind watching that. I remember when I was in Finland, Rappo showed me some really awesome Swedish cooking shows. They probably weren't actually Swedish, they're probably just exaggerating it, but it was, they probably were Swedish. But they were really funny. But some cooking shows can be really funny. But I'm just picturing that's what he saw, that cooking show. Gas mask. Well, Archangel, I guess. He was in my room last night. He used my computer to post that message. Crystal was right. It's not safe here. I decided to leave with her. Rabbits. We've been on the move since Thursday. First we headed out west, Then we turn northward. I'm currently in a hotel in Maryland, typing this post out on my laptop. We've got all the blinds closed, and Crystal's keeping a handgun close by. Like her car, I have serious doubts that her money into acquiring it. What? I have serious doubts that her money into acquiring it. But she's the one with the gun, so I just keep my mouth shut. Something weird happened yesterday. Well, two things weird happened. First, while we were moving through Northern Virginia, driving down a forested road, we had to abruptly stop on account of me really having to take a piss. I headed off-road into the trees to do my business. Rabbits. So many rabbits, just hanging there, from the branches. Some had the rope tied around their legs, others had hooks lodged in their backs, still some hung with nooses around their necks. Everywhere I looked, there were rabbits hanging from the trees, swaying in the breeze, lifeless, skinless. Candle Cove. Some of them were rotted, with maggots crawling all over them, and green organs hanging limply from their skeletons. Others were fresher from spell air. Blood still dripped from the few, sliding off their red glistening muscles and falling to the earth below, which drank their fluid greedily. The earth doesn't drink! I should know. It's a member of the Alcoholics Anonymous. Needless to say, I didn't need to pee anymore, most because it was all running down my legs. You didn't need to say that! Especially when I heard the bushes rustling and a soft sound like a man laughing. I turned and ran, heading back to the car, not caring about the discomfort of my pants. Crystal made a face, asking me if I pissed myself, but I just yelled at her to drive. My panic apparently got through to her, and she complied. The second thing that happened? You may have noticed a new post in this blog, dated April 17th, 1991. That's my birthday. Let's check it out. Let's check it out right now. Hang on a second. Let's give it a... Okay, fuck you. We'll do it this way. It's not loading. Load. Fuck you. Shut up. Fuck you. Load. Shut up. I don't know what I'm saying. Shut up. There we go. Ton. I breathe. Fluid fills my lungs, and yet I breathe it in. Eat! I jerk. I spasm. My body desires freedom from the darkness. Like all beings, I am drawn to the light. It feels as though the very world is pushing me away. Everything I have ever known rejects me. All American rejects. The warmth gives me to the cold. Cold boy. It is cramped here where I am now. I can barely move through these corridors. Empty city. My head feels as though it will be crushed at any moment. A face. His face. He smiles at me. Smiling man. He urges me forward. He calls out to me. His pale face looks down at me, and I know I have a purpose. The rake! And then I am in the light. My last connection to that world before falls away. The face is gone. From my sight. From my mind. From my memories. Life goes on. Jacob the Black Op says, how? According to Crystal, I woke up in the middle of the night and posted that without saying a word. Then I simply went back to sleep. She checked my computer and was apparently too unnerved by that weird-ass post to get to sleep again. Slender Man. Archangel. Whatever these things are, they're hunting us. I don't know what they want. I don't know why we've been targeted. All I know is that I need to run. I need to run as fast as I can, as far as I can. And I need to pray that they don't catch me. DJay32 says, shit. Emoticon. That's legitimately unnerving. I was referring to the rabbits, by the way. Noble said, oh, another place to be and a new name. Noble or Piranha? Piranha carries a certain sort of nostalgia, though. What do you guys think? Poor bunnies. For the record, Noble Piranha was this really nice game jacker who was basically just sort of commenting on Jordan Eats Normally Now. Well, first he commented on Fishman. That's where Piranha came from. And then he commented on Progression Enhanced. And then he commented on Jordan Eats. Anonymous said, Hobbit made them do it. Honest work for honest pay. So today I put all those hours in a construction site to good use and hung out in a Home Depot parking lot looking for work. Luckily, some contractor was willing to take me on for a day, installing door frames. He even bought me lunch. At the end of the day, he gave me a $50 bill for my work. Something tells me that all my work days won't go as well as this one, but you can't live with no money. Crystal also earned some cash today doing... I'm not sure exactly. I have my suspicions, though, mostly concerning something I saw in one of her bags, but I'd rather not say anything and risk losing her company. We're all we have, so long as these things are after us. Yeah, boy. I managed to get another job today, though this time the carpenter who took me on only gave me $20 and didn't bother to feed me. My only consolation was finding 85 pence on the ground. 85. Not much consolation, I'll admit. Anyway, long story short, Crystal took all $20.85 money and bet in a poker game. Games that, as she later confided to me, she was cheating in, but she managed to double the money, so I guess it's all good. We'll be moving into another town tomorrow. Crystal doesn't like being in one place for too long. Early birthday present. We're in a new hotel now and in a new state. I like it here. Nice and relaxing. Found a birthday present in the bathroom. Fun presents. Nice presents. How lovely. I love my birthday. April 17th. Coming soon. I'll be 20. Add a 1. Drop a 0. 3. Divide into 3 parts. 1. Happy nosy number all over the place being all numbery. What? I'll be 20. Add a 1. Drop a 0. What? Flying over my mind. I like this hotel. The bed is nice and soft and fluffy. Crystal upset her about something. Don't know what. Nice hotel. No reason to be sad. Maybe I should cheer her up. She can share my present. Crystal. Joey's sleeping. This is Crystal. Joey's asleep right now. Or rather, he's passed out. As I guess you already figured out, he found some pills in the bathroom of his hotel room and took them. As soon as he did, he started acting weird, like everything was completely alright. He even kept telling me not to worry. If they kill us, they kill us. That's just how it is. Anyway, eventually he tried to get me to take some of the pills, and when I refused, he tried to force them down my throat. I managed to stop him and get the pills away, and then he started screaming and ranting at me. Words. Most of it was nonsense, but a couple of phrases kept being repeated. His face. We're all the pieces, and they are eternal. Then he just fell over and passed out in the bed. I don't know what happened, so I took the pills and dumped them all down the toilet. Shit, I don't know what the hell those pills are, but they aren't natural. I'm pretty sure they were the same ones he was taking before I met him. They can cause addiction after just a few uses, and then get your body dependent on them so much that you go into withdrawal after a couple hours without a dose. That's not normal no matter how you slice it. Trust me, I'd know. Crystal. No pill is natural. That's the point. A new hotel and a new ritual. Okay. Hurry the fuck up, computer. Hurry up. Yes, there we go. My head seems to be clearing up, and I am no longer hallucinating, so that's good. I don't even know why I took those pills again. It's not like I didn't know what they were or what they would do to me. I just sort of grabbed them as soon as I saw them. But anyway, I'm all better now. New hotel today. This time I was forbidden from entering until Crystal had checked it. She found a bottle of pills and flushed them before letting me in. Hopefully another incident like that won't happen again. And hopefully I can restrain myself if I ever see those things again. Alcohol. Got drunk last night, at Crystal's urging. Can't remember anything else. Woke up with my very first hangover. I remember my first hangover. I don't care what new and creative name she comes up with to call me. I ain't doing this again. I gotta go lie down. We know where you are. Anonymous. Way to go, Archangel. Archangel. Whatever. Crystal still being followed. So, after we saw that post Archangel left in this blog, we hightailed it out of that hotel and have been on the road since. We just now came to a stop at a new motel somewhere in, I think we're in Tennessee now. Look, is it just me or is Joey kind of a prude? He's really shy and shit about a lot of things. Dude, we share a room, a car, and a life. I'm not going to be traumatized by the sight of your penis. And I don't need you giving me I don't need you giving me those disapproving looks every time you see me with a cigarette. I'll admit it, okay, I fucked up with the beer thing. I didn't stop to think that Joey might not appreciate any mind-altering substances after the whole pill thing. I'm sorry, Joey. I know that not remembering what you did the other night and waking up with a headache terrifies you, but trust me when I say that nothing bad happened. Basically, you just complained about Slenderman and Archangel, started muttering about pieces and faces again, then you groped me and tried to kiss me, then you threw up in my lap and passed out. Considering the things I've done while drunk, it was actually pretty tame. Yeah, that sounds about right. But once again, I'm sorry. I didn't think. Crystal. Fowl said, Alcohol is still better than those freaky pills. Best of luck to you both. Hobie ho. Alan Assiduity Alan Assiduity there we go, said, Of course you're still being followed. It's not as if they don't know where you're going, judging by that track record. Powell said, Alan has a point. These guys are persistent, whoever they are. Happy birthday to me. So today is my birthday. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I'm gonna have a good time. Hooray. Running aimlessly around the country while trying to avoid monsters wasn't exactly what I had in mind for my birthday, but whatever. Crystal's out doing meth. Something. Not sure what. I haven't done much of anything all day. Not much to report about the past few days either. Find work where I can get it, survive. Somehow running for my life is beginning to settle down to a routine. Hold on, I think Crystal's back. I hear someone knocking on the door. Behind closed doors. I guess I should tell you about what happened yesterday. Crystal's been shot. She won't let me take her to a hospital. She insists she'll be fine. The bullet got in her in the leg. She tells me there won't be any lasting damage. I'm not so sure. After what I learned, I'm not sure if I want her to recover from this. Yesterday's post ended with me saying there's someone at the door. You'll never guess who. Turns out some of the local drug dealers decided they wanted to pay Crystal a visit. Apparently she and that new drug of hers have been intruding on their turf. You see where this is going? No sooner had I opened the door than I was pistol whipped into unconsciousness. I woke up tied to a chair like in some shitty action movie. But unlike shitty action movies, I woke up with an aching head and I was so dizzy that I threw up, spraying puke all over my lap. My guests ignored me, apparently not even noticing the putrid scent of the puke. There were 3 of them. They were all armed. I realized that there's probably no way I can type this without coming across at least a little bit racist, so I'll just come right out and say it. 2 of them were young black guys and the 3rd looked Hispanic. None of them seemed very friendly. They all sat in the bed waiting for Crystal to show off. Eventually the door opened and in she stepped, a smile on her lips. As soon as she saw her guest, that smile melted away and she immediately took a step back. All 3 of the dealers were already aiming at her by then, and for a moment she froze. The moment passed quickly. Before I could even blink, she was running. 2 of the dealers, the Hispanic guy and one of the others, chased after her. The 3rd one stayed with me. Wait, oh, the 3rd one's black. Your girlfriend's not very smart, he told me. First the horse starts stealing in our spots, then she tries to run. Sorry for being racist here. He pointed his gun at my head. The Pillivers. That was closer to British. Closer, still not actually British. I can't do British accents. The Pillivers. Where'd she make it? I stared at him blankly, and realization dawned. That bitch. That stupid bitch. Suddenly, a great blackness fell over me, and I saw an empty face, pale and yet... I gotta get fucking comfortable, Jesus Christ. What? Oh, not you, Jesus. I'm sorry. I keep saying your name. Oh, okay. Right, where was I? Yes. Suddenly, a great blackness fell over me, and I saw an empty face, pale and yet somehow dark, just inches away from my eyes. Tentacles oozed out of the blackness and wrapped around the dealer, twisting the gun from his hand, wrapping around his throat and choking off his scream. One tentacle lashed out, slicing through his stomach like a blade, spilling his intestines out on the floor. Awesome! And then the Slender Man turned his attention to me. I tried to move. The best I could do was scoot the chair a bit away, just as the tentacle flew at me. It sliced the rope from my legs and managed to leave a long but shallow gash across my skin, and I immediately took advantage of his sudden freedom, standing and running for the door, ignoring the sting in my leg. Slender Man attacked again, and the chair, my arm still tied to it, exploded. Splinters rained everywhere, and I was knocked flat to my face. Or on my face, my back covered in cuts and slashes from those tentacles. I scrambled away, half crawling, half running out of the motel room. I didn't look back to see if Slender Man was following me. Slender Man! I ran out into the street just in time to see Crystal pinned against a car with the dealers beating the shit out of her. Those bastards! I hesitated for a moment, then ran toward her. One of the dealer's heads exploded, his brains splattering all over the asphalt of the parking lot. I looked up. Gas Mask was standing on the roof of the motel, a rifle in his hands. Oh my god. I just can't take him seriously with a freaking gun. It's a bit like Shadow the Hedgehog using a gun. Except instead of a kid's character, it's an eldritch abomination. I guess I'm picturing Archie Angelo from Plan 31. It sounds like the kind of thing that he'd do in between court sessions, in between plumbing jobs. Like, yeah, man, I'm also a hired gun. What more do you want? It's a living. He took aim again, and I ran. And then Iraq, and then Afghanistan. Crystal managed to push the remaining dealer, one of the black guys, away from... You had to specify that, didn't you? Away from her and ran for the car. He opened fire at us, but we both ducked behind Crystal's car in time to avoid the bullets. Some guy was lying on the pavement nearby, in a hoodie with one of his operator symbols on his back. He was bleeding pretty badly. I'm not sure if he was still alive or not. We heard the rifle go off again, and the dealer's barrage stopped. "Get in the car!" Crystal shouted. "Now!" My throat. Jesus. What? No, just go away, Jesus. Oh, okay. I complied, and we scrambled in, but not before Gas Mask got one more shot, blowing a nasty hole through Crystal's right leg. The bullet hit in the lower half, and the fat behind the bone. Not sure what the technical name for that is. Is it cartilage? I have no idea. I pushed her into the passenger seat, pulled the keys from her pocket, got the hell away from there. I looked back with the rearview mirror to see Slenderman behind us, standing in the middle of the parking lot, turning to look at Gas Mask on the roof. Gas Mask seemed almost about to fire at him, but then he just dropped the rifle and seemed to almost burn away, vanishing in a puff of ash and embers. Crystal poured whiskey on her wound and had me bandage it up. I'm not sure if that's the proper way to treat a gunshot wound, but at the moment I was too angry to object. "Why did you do that? What were you thinking?" "Hey, I did what I had to. You broke his leg with a block of cement. I could have done worse, and I probably should have," I shouted. Those pills! What the fuck made you decide to sell them?" All she said was, had to make money. Somehow. Before she fell into unconsciousness. Knox said. The bullet hit on the lower half and the fat behind the bone. Not sure what the technical name thing that is. That will be the calf champ. Oh, the calf champ. I like the calf champ. It's my favorite part of the leg. It's called a comma. Comma. And period. And capitalize that. Okay, I'm getting from more Dr. Pepper from that trade. Another post. That Crystal. Okay. Taking a sweet time. Okay. Truth. Hey. So, Joey told you all then. I haven't been flushing the pills down the toilet. I've been selling them. I know. It was stupid of me. It was irresponsible. But do you have any idea how hard it is to just survive like this? I have been home in 7 years. I've been running from a monster that can raise the fucking dead for 7 years. Any money I had with me in the beginning ran out a long time ago. 7 years ago, I never would have imagined I'd be reduced to this. I've sold crack. I've stolen. I've prostituted myself. All so I can just make a bit of money. Enough for gas and food and rooms. When those pills started showing up, I realized that they were a gold mine. I had a full bottle for every hotel and motel we checked into. The high they gave us a state of perfect peace, and the hooky with only one dose, but withdrawal is over within a week. Within a week. It's the kind of drug I could easily make some money off. In the end, it all came back to bite me in my sweet ass. So now I'm sitting in some cheap-ass motel room with an amateur bandage wrapped around my leg. A leg that's turning black and growing number with each passing hour. I can't go to a hospital. I'll get deported. They might even connect me with everything I've done over the years. On the bright side, I've had lots of time to think. After everything that's happened, things are finally starting to make sense. We were gonna die, but both the Slenderman and the Archangel intervened. Why? It's obvious. They didn't want us dead. At least, not yet. This is really the reason I'm on Joey's account right now. He asked me to type this. The story I told him. Back in California, I was driving down a road when a hooded man in a gas mask suddenly leaped into my windshield. He started banging his fist against the glass and slammed in the brakes, spelled wrong, sending him tumbling off. He was on Tumblr. Then I floored it and ran right over him. About 5 minutes later, I heard pounding on the car's roof. I slammed my brakes again, and once again, gas mask went on Tumblr off my vehicle. When I got to LA, I stopped to inspect the damage. There was a message scratched into the paint. You have been chosen. There was also a scrap of paper with duct tape there. This blog's URL was written on it. That's how I found Joey's blog. The archangle led me here. When Joey was high, he ranted about how we are all pieces. I understand now. Archangle and Slenderman are playing some sort of grand game against each other, and me and Joey are the pieces on their game board. We don't know the rules. We can't know the rules. We can't handle the truth. No human can ever sit in the player's seat. We are all pieces. Since this all began, probably sooner than that, we've been dancing with our tune. Judging by my leg, I won't be dancing much longer. Crystal. Companions. Loading. Crystal's leg is getting worse. It stinks to high heaven, and the skin has become black and red and even a bit green. What's black and white and red all over? A newspaper. Every time even a little bit of pressure is applied to it, I can see Crystal writhing in pain. Part of me wants to leave her. Let her Dude, you're a dick. Oh my god. After that post she just did, explaining exactly why she had to do that. It makes a lot of sense. You're just a dick. Let her suffer for what she did, like a dick. But I can't. I just can't, because I'm not a total dick. We're all we have left. Things that go bump in the night. Loading. Loading. Last night I woke up just in time to see something scurry out the window. Looked like some kind of ape, with claws. I checked Crystal and she said she was fine. Or, she didn't say that, but she just was fine. Been driving all day. I don't even know what state I'm in right now. All I know is that I'm tired and I should probably find some work soon, because her money pool is just about dried up. Crystal's been delirious all day. At one point she started screaming from something she saw on the outside of the road. I hope she'll be okay. Anonymous said, "Is the rake getting involved now?" Horror freak. Joe, Google the rake. It could save your life. You posted that in October of the next year. Oh my god. A year and a half later, it could save your life. Oh my god. That's hilarious. That's legitimately hilarious. Oh, by the way, watch out for the Minotaur. Oh, hey, thanks for that. Alone. Crystal's dead. Worked all day. Came back to the motel to find her corpse laying on the bed. Or her bed. Her blood all over the walls. Gas mask standing over her, holding a goddamn baseball bat. Batter up! Her blood still dripped from it. Oh, I thought this was the 9th inning. He came at me, and then tendrils of blackness oozed out from the empty air and enveloped him. I saw the empty face in the blackness looking at me, and I looked beyond it and saw his face smiling. And then I was alone, save for the corpse. Crystal. She's dead. Dead, 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 dead. Who's messaging me? Okay, awesome. I will reply to that after this. Well, she's offline anyway. Where's that? Alright, Archangle. I guess you know where I'm headed. When find a hotel, you'll know where it is. Where I am. I'm waiting for you, you son of a bitch. Come get me. Afterlife. How's the song go? I can't remember anymore. Avenged Sevenfold. And there's also Afterlife by Dream Theater, which is much earlier than that. But anyway. In the afterlife. Okay, whatever. In the end, it wasn't gas mask that came for me. No, Archangel shows a more fitting form. As I sat in my motel room, Crystal materialized before me and leaped at me, wrapping her fingers around my neck. Hot. I looked up into her face. Her expression was blank. Eat! But her eyes were not. Her eyes were full of terror and sorrow and pain. And that's when I realized the truth. I'd been keeping a knife with me. That's the truth that he realized. I buried it in her stomach, and pushed her corpse off me, and then I ran, and then Afghanistan. I just hopped into my car and drove. There is no escape from the Archangel. I understand that now. To become its slave is the ultimate fate of all humans. The Archangel isn't just some monster. The Archangel is the afterlife, and it waits for us all. Shit. Wait. Oh. Whatever. But maybe there is a way out. Stopping the song. Last time, when Gas Mask killed Crystal, Slender Man stopped him from killing me. He stopped him from skilling me. Stopped him from killing me. Why? He saved me. Saved me, saved me, saved me, saved me. Saved me, 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 saved me. Saved me, 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 saved and me, saved me, saved me, saved me, and saved me, saved me, saved me, saved me, oh, saved me, saved me. Hang on a second. ALONEMORE. Okay, alone no more. Acromatic Morality said, "Have you found friends to alleviate that loneliness?" Anonymous said, "He's alone no more." Knox said, "Lol, you just saved me from squinting to find letters, haha." Tasha Elaine said, "Haha, oh thank God that hurt XD." I'm not a bad man, even though I do bad things, very bad things, such horrible things, but it's not quite what it seems. Anonymous said, "Oh, I love that song." I realize that's probably a different Anonymous, but it's fun to make him all Bane. It's funny because the Ecclesiarchway in Rapture has a Bane voice. Rebirth. Last night I went home. Master showed me the way. He guided me through a long black path covered in leaves. I emerged from the blackness and I was in my old house. Master had given me a knife and I used it well. Mother, father, sister, brother. Throat slit. Everyone. Never woke up. It's for the best. Master's power will prevent them from passing on. They will never become its slaves. They will simply cease. I have shed my old life. I found a purpose. Hoo hoo hoo! Master has given me one. And with his voice always buzzing in my head, I shall never be alone again. Happy Easter. Steward. Anonymous said, "Ah." Second Anonymous said, "No. Why, oh why, did you have to become a proxy?" "I am the League of Shadows," Tashi Litton said, "just to spite you for reading too late. : D. A new chapter. One chapter of my life is ended, but a new one begins hidden in the trees. Steward. Dia said, "I'm sorry to see you go, especially considering how much of your humanity you retained." Anonymous said, God damn it! Now there are more of you slender proxy assholes I need to kill. Second anonymous said, You can never kill us all. Ho ho ho, Batman. Right. So yes, that was, we find the first post. How many posts are here? Jesus. Okay, but this will be fine. This will be a lot of fun. So, first of all, Eccentrically bored? I liked it. I mean, it's simple, very simple, very. It is a classic in the sense that it was the first place that we saw most of the stuff in there, and it had some pretty decent videos. It had some decent pictures from time to time, some good. Pardon me. Some good stories. Some nice characters. I was sad when Crystal died. But now we can see how the story continues with Hidden in the Trees. This is often cited as like one of the greatest fear blogs out there. I never read it. I read an entry or two. But like I'd never actually read it. I didn't really read many blogs back then. I mean, I think the first blog I properly read was Ontological. Probably. And I loved Ontological, and that's what made me an Alliterator fan. But anyway. Hidden in the Trees. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Don't know why I did that. The Blind Man. There is a man who wanders through the libraries of the world. He wears a long black coat and dark sunglasses over his eyes. Or rather, over where his eyes should be, or would be. His face is that of an old man, if not for that one missing feature. In his hand he carries a dusty old tome, and though he cannot see, he often stops to write in it with an old quill pen. He is the Blind Man, and within that book he keeps his collection. What does he collect, you ask? Childhoods. Steward. Timelessness said, yeah. Farewell, my past. I have met the Blind Man. I found him in a library in some city in France. He looked straight at me, and kept looking at me even as he opened his book and wrote my name in it. When he turned, I caught a quick glimpse of the blank skin where his eyes should be. I can't remember anything before my 12th birthday. My past is shed, and I am as far away from my own humanity as I am likely to be. I am now worthy to serve. Tomorrow, Master is taking me to the city. I can hardly wait. Steward. Now I've noticed, that's something I've noticed about a lot of fear blogs. Probably including some of my own. The Blind Man is often at the start of blogs. I guess I mean, like, he was at the start of Convention of 24. Well, not the start. He was towards the start. He was, well, he was at the start of Built for 2, although you didn't know it until the end. He was at the start of, I don't even know. I feel like he's at the start of a lot of blogs. It's also the end of a lot of them. He seems kind of like a bookending character. And which is kind of nice. I mean, I like it. I think it's interesting, an interesting trope to notice. But anyway. Inside the empty city. This morning, Master took me to a grand city, constantly reforming itself and devoid of life. He warned me that should I see any humans wandering the streets, I should not interfere. We are the city's guests, and it would not take kindly to us messing with his food. Master took me to the top of a skyscraper where no wind blew. 5 figures awaited us there. A child with skin of cold diamond stood on the edge of the building, watching the city rearrange its streets and humming to himself. A woman carved from wood with a painted-on face and clothes and strings wrapped around her body and limbs regarded us with black, unmoving eyes. That was an annoying sentence. Anyway, 2 young girls stood on either side of her. One smiled, the other shook. And the 5th figure crashed behind me and crawled on all 4s into my view. He wore nothing, but he had no genitalia. I love how you mentioned that. That's the first thing you notice. He's naked, but he's got no genitals. It's the first thing you notice about him. No hair grew from his pale flesh, and knife-like claws jutted from his fingers. But it was his eyes that I was drawn to. Well, and his genitals, or his lack thereof. Black and empty, like staring into a void, and yet somewhere deep within them I could see something uncomfortably close to humanity. The cold boy, the wooden girl, the rake. The rake seemed almost to nod to Master, though its movements may simply have been the mad twitching of a beast, and then it turned its attention to the wooden girl, a low growl escaping from its throat. I'm picturing the rake just kind of just nodding at the Slenderman in terms of like a sup. It's a suppish nod, and then Slenderman has a suppish nod as well, which reminds me of that thing that I said about the world through these eye holes, where like the Slenderman nodded to the Faceless, I think, and disappeared, and I just pictured him nodding suppishly, and then going back to his dormitory to, like, brag, like, yo guys, I just got Faceless laid. It's like, oh shit, motherfucker. Anyway, right. The cold boy turned around to watch, wearing the smile of a child who had just been presented with a new toy. I felt information pour into my mind as Master explained the situation to me. The rake is a very territorial creature, and the wooden girl had been hunting victims in lands that the rake had claimed. And so the rake demanded compensation. Master and the cold boy had been called to bear witness. The wooden girl nodded, and one of the girls with her, the trembling one, walked toward the rake. All the while, her body shook and contorted, and her eyes were wide with fear as she struggled against the wooden girl's power. She could not have been older than 12. It reminded me of Crystal and what the Archangel had done to her, and I was seized by the impulse to look away, but I forced myself to watch. That was my old life. Joey's life. I am Steward. The rake examined the girl and sniffed every inch of her. Satisfied, he brought his claws to her stomach and tore her intestines out. Tastes like licorice. The girl opened her mouth as if to scream, but no sound came out. I could see strings bundled up in there, running deep into her throat, cutting off her cries as the rake brought his claws across her again and again, before finally opened his mouth to reveal a row of fangs, which he sank into her neck, and then he pulled his head away, dragging her throat out with his mouth. That was a long sentence. Blood ran from the girl, and she no longer moved. The rake let her collapse to the ground, and they pulled her heart out and ate it. We all just stood and watched. Master nodded to the cold boy. Sup, cold boy? Sup, nigga? And he clapped his hands. But I feel somewhat offensive now. The four entities left, leaving me with other of the wooden girl's toys. This girl smiled at me. She seemed older than the remains that now lay strewn about the ground, though not by much. 14 or 15, most like. So you are the tall one's new pet? The girl asked me. What do you call yourself? Steward. The girl walked toward me. I'm Charlotte, she said. I have been serving my mistress for as long as I can remember. It's wonderful, isn't it? Being a servant. You don't have to think or anything. You do what is desired of you. I do so love it when mistress controls me. I kept silent. Charlotte stood on her tiptoes and whispered in my ear. I live to serve. I ignored her breath against my neck and very pointedly refrained from looking at her. Master needed me alert at all times. He told me. Charlotte shrugged and walked away. We waited in silence for an hour longer, and the Master and the wooden girl returned. As I left with Master, I saw Charlotte wave at me. Tomorrow I will be starting on my first true assignment for Master. I must prepare. Steward. Oh god. So I guess this was one of the posts that I did read. DJay32 said, I live to serve too, Charlotte. Period, W, period. Especially mistresses. Knox replied, lol, 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 XD. Oh god. It's true, though. But it's still funny. The mark. Name, Emily Rivera. Age, 18. Sex, female. Race, Filipino. Is that race? Are you sure that's not ethnicity? But anyway. Notes. Currently living in California. Attending college and working at a daycare. First encountered Master at work. Has cited him numerous times over the past month. Has never blogged or otherwise kept a public record about him. Currently suffering from minor paranoia. Mission. Observation. Nothing more. Steward. Boring. She left her dorm. She went to class. She ate lunch. She went to class. She met with friends. She's back in her dorm. Nothing interesting about this woman whatsoever. Occasionally she'll look over her shoulder or cringe when she hears a noise, but otherwise she's a perfectly normal, boring girl. Boring, boring, boring. Maybe she'd do something interesting tonight, like get drunk and run out in front of a speeding bus. That would be hilarious. Steward. Patrick said, "You disappoint me, Joey. You could have been a valuable ally. Your master's time will soon be over. We runners no longer running." Joey's steward replied, "No longer running, you say? Well, I suppose that's good. It'll make it easier to find you all. And it's Steward now. Just Steward." "It's nice to meet you, Just Steward." Anonymous said, "This is neat." The second Anonymous said, "I may be an exception to the rule, but know this. I once was hollowed, but now I am whole. I am free of him. You can be too, Joey. Rose." God. Just the idea of someone named Rose. I want to do Homestuck with Rose having the Bane voice now. Third Anonymous said, "Maybe you slender proxies aren't so bad. I laugh when people get hit by buses too. Then I steal their bodies and eat them. Then I steal their bodies and eat them." There we go. Hiding something. Before dawn, I saw Emily leave her dorm. She hasn't gone up that early so far in my vigil, so the alarm bells immediately went off. I followed her to the edge of a pond, where she removed something from her pocket and threw it into the water. She went straight back to her dorm without any detours, didn't even see me standing just a few feet away from her. I wonder what she wanted to dispose of. I'll have to check tonight when she's sound asleep. Can't risk leaving my post when she's awake. Martin B. said, "This blog was part of my favorites today, and I don't know why. So I read through it, and, well, it's very creepy, and stalkerish. I don't know if I believe it. Then again, I get really bored, so I'll continue reading." Joey Stewart said, "Whether you believe or not makes no difference. In the end, none of them particularly care what you believe." Steward. Anonymous said, "So wait, are you Steward as in a rank, or are you Steward because it's your last name?" Yeah, we're making pretty good progress through this so far. Found it. Had to call in the help of two imbeciles in order to get it, but I got the thing she threw in the lake. And when I say two imbeciles, I mean the master sent two of the most delusional thugs, or two of those delusional thugs who think they're ghosts or some such nonsense. Call themselves Assagian and Glorious, which is terrifying because it implies that there are at least 5 more just as stupid as they are. Anyway, they spent an hour swimming and wondering why they kept needing to come for air if they were phantoms or whatever, and they found it. A plastic tube with a bunch of papers in it. Drawings of the master, to be precise. It appears that she's trying to forget about him. How foolish. Anyway, I sent the two idiots on their merry way, sincerely hoping that I would never meet them again, and now I continue to keep watching Emily. She's taking her exams this week, and then she'll be leaving for her home in North Carolina. My orders remain the same. Observe. I think I'll keep her sketches, though. They might come in handy later when I'm masturbating. Martin B. I'm been catching with the whole Slender Man business, so let me see if I can follow. The Revenants work for the Slender Man. The Slender Man is some sort of boogeyman in a business suit. This is all looking like some sort of Doctor Who-esque head trip. Still, it's entertaining to read. Joey Stewart. Such ignorance. One might say you're grasping at shadows. Anonymous said, "No, Stewart. I am the League of Shadows. And then the shadows pull you close and eat you up." Knox. Your comments are by far the most annoying and repetitive I've ever heard. Read. I can't read. Why? Unless something interesting actually happens, don't any new posts for the next week or two. 2. I love to fill this blog with unless logs about Miss Rivera's daily routine, really, but I doubt I'll be able to keep my sanity. Don't even think about responding to that. Anyway, I decided to reveal to all you delusional lackwits who think you actually have a chance at the true purpose of his blog. Master wishes for the secrets of his fellows to be spilled out for all to see. He wishes for tales of... Oh, that's what I mean by fellows. He wishes for tales of the Archangel, the Coal Boy, the Wooden Girl, the Plague Doctor, the Convocation, the Empty City, the Rake, the Choir, all of them. To spread out and propagate, in much the same way that his tales have. Okay, I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. Especially considering how early this blog was. You see, the true purpose of this blog is to let you all know that even if you manage to break the laws of reality and actually harm him, you will not be free. The purpose of this blog is to let you know just how well and truly fucked you all are. And that is the argument that I use whenever people say that fears can't be killed. Well, what difference would it make if they could be killed? There's still an uncountable number of fears out there. And if one dies, then the others are gonna find out, and it's just stupid if they can't be killed. Now, it's better if we don't know if they can be killed. It's better if it's left ambiguous. But just to say that they can't, to say that you can't write them being killed, that goes against a lot of things that make the fear mythos popular. Anyway. Which brings me to Emily Rivera. She doesn't blog. That, in a nutshell, is what makes her so interesting. Many of you have felt it. The compulsion to tell your stories in a public forum. The need to share your tales of mastery with all you can. Even those of you who believe that he becomes stronger as you do continue to blog, continue to succumb to that compulsion. Even I felt it before I realized the inevitable and was accepted to Master's service. Emily does not blog. She remains, for the most part, unaware of these blogs, which means that either she's immune to the compulsion or it has never been projected onto her. Oh yes, I forgot to mention. The compulsion? Master's not the one who sends it out. Steward. 16 comments. Revloon. I must say I'm intrigued by some of these other entities you mention. Acromatic morality. Such childish nihilism. Entirely appropriate, of course, but... Martin B. The Archangel, the Cowboy, the Wooden Girl, the Plague Doctor, the Convocation, the Empty City, the Rake, the Choir. Wow, this sounds like a pretty awesome Legion of Doom you got here. All that's missing is the Joker. No, we got that, that's a Harlequin. Although, I don't know how scary the Empty City sounds. I mean, what's really scary about a city? Have you ever been to an empty city? Not the empty city, but have you ever been to a city that happens to be empty? It's scary as hell. Jay. Some freak in a gas mask is shaking a little boy. You really can be burned to shit by a lighter? No! You're retarded in a respectful manner. There's one blog that I can think of where the Wooden Girl was burned, and that was Rapture. And, well, you tell me if burning her stopped her. I mean, it's what led to her being defeated. But she came back. A horrible doctor, a group. A group? What? A group? An empty city of hell, and a freaky fucking choir. Why don't you just add Zalgo and you're done? I hear he's becoming real. It's funny because we were gonna have Zalgo. But anyway, Steward. Zalgo, don't be ridiculous. He died last summer. I think he was killed by an emaciated guy or something. That's pretty funny. Steward. Steward's pretty funny. Acromatic morality. Those in glass houses should not throw stones, don't you think? Peter Rivers. People, please. Don't delve into what you cannot understand. Though I did chuckle at the Legion of Doom remark. It would be much easier to understand if it... No, fuck. It would be much easier if it worked like that, believe you me. And Zalgo? Totally real. Totally. No sarcasm whatsoever. Zalgo is real. Like, really. You could go out there, you could find him. He's real. Acromatic morality. Rivers, if one should not delve into things one cannot understand, why are you here at all? Oh! Bitch! Peter Rivers. Believe you me, I ask myself that every day. Timelessness. I hate when I know I'm asking questions I'm gonna regret, but who caused this compulsion? Steward. Are you serious? What the fuck do you think I'm trying to find out? Anonymous. Why do you have a blog? Anonymous 2. Why is Slenderman known as the Black King? He's not referred to that in this... He's not referred as that in this story is. It hasn't been yet, so why did you ask that? Anonymous 3. The pictures in the Fear Wiki make them look like a league of supervillains. However, the truth is far more serious. They don't look like that anymore. We've been making sure to make it look less like a pantheon. But anyway. The League of Shadows. Slender is known as the Black King because he is the source of power for the other fears in some interpretations. In other words, get rid of him and the others lose their powers too. In some interpretations. And oh god, the raptor is burning at half. What? What? You know, God, the raptor's burning it happened? What? What object? What? When did that happen? The guy who wrote. How? That's actually a really good question, because I'm trying to think, how? I'm trying to comprehend. And this was September 28th, 2012, so we were in Act 4. We were in Act 4 by then. But the beast he hasn't died. He wasn't gotten rid of. In fact, you know when the fears were the most powerful in Rapture? When he was dead. When he was gone, they were the strongest. And then he came back and he kind of kicked him around a bit. What? Where? What? Why? I legitimately don't comprehend this. But it's awesome to see my story mentioned in here. Knox, what of Jack? Someone is killing servants. 3 dead in the past week. Each one a servant of Master. Each one killed by a single clean cut across the throat. At least one was a sleeper. One who hadn't even activated yet. He was just leading a normal life. Hadn't even met any runners yet. This information disturbs Master. Oh, he has lost servants before. Many servants. But this doesn't smell like runner shenanigans. Master thinks that one of the others has begun to move against him. So far, the runners have been little more than an annoyance, like a fly buzzing around Master's head and landing on his food. But if one of the others is manipulating them, calling the shots from behind the scenes, they could become locusts devouring Master's food. The Wooden Girl is an ally. The killings don't fit the Cold Boy's MO. The Archangel is a likely suspect. The Plague Doctor is smart enough to pull a scheme like this and wouldn't be stupid enough to use his disease to kill Master's servants, so he's a possibility as well. If observing Emily yields no results by Saturday, I am instructed to begin making direct moves against her, to go to reaction. If this too proves fruitless, I am instructed to bring her before Master. Once business with Emily is concluded, I shall begin investigating these deaths. Oh, and Master is sending those 2 geniuses back to assist me. How nice. Fuck. Steward. Peter Rivers. You are very entertaining to watch, Stu, if we are mortal enemies. Slender will get tired of you, though, very soon. Just as we get tired of Slender the game. You will never get tired of me, which is both a blessing and a curse. Acrobatic morality. This comment has been removed by the author. Steward. Your arrogance is quite astounding, Mr. Rivers. I have been charged by my master to impart the truth upon the world. It is a sacred duty. It is important work. Far more important than dealing with an upstart, those insignificance like you or Zero, Steward. Oh, I used the wrong your. I do so hope that you don't think little of me because of it. Acrobatic morality. My apologies for the previous error post. In any case, Rivers, if I tire of you now, surely you must bore that abomination out of its skull. As for you, Steward, I weep for your master. Mystery. I might know who it is, but he wouldn't appreciate me spilling the beans too soon. Peter Rivers. Oh, really, Mystery? Semicolon, close parentheses. And totally acro, totally. Martin B. Well, think of it like this. You could be the Three Musketeers. Okay, the Three Slender Tears. And what is the cold boy's MO? He sounds like he just needs some tissues and tea. Steward. Imagine walking down a dirt road, out in a wide open area, on a hot, breezeless summer day. Imagine that there are no clouds in the sky and the sun beats down on you directly. Now imagine that you are also wearing several layers of clothing. It's so hot that you feel like you're about to collapse. Now imagine that you hear a young boy's voice behind you reciting a nursery rhyme. Now imagine that you suddenly feel quite comfortable in your layers of clothing. It's not hot at all. In fact, it's kind of chilly. And now it's even chillier. You're shivering. You can't stop shivering. You rub your hands together, breathe into your clothes, and hug yourself and try to focus on the brightly shining sun, but to no avail. I hug myself a lot. You are cold. And now your skin becomes numb. Your hands and feet can no longer move. The saliva in your mouth is turned to ice. Your eyes are crusted over. And then your blood freezes and your heart can no longer beat. That is how the cold boy works. Pray that you never annoy him, Steward. Mystery. Tell your master if you'll leave my niece and her parents alone, I might give a hint. A hint isn't betrayal, but he needs to leave my family alone. If they get hurt, your unknown proxy slayer won't be the only one hunting you. Hurting a baby to get at me is a coward's tactic. Peter Rivers. The cold boy is indeed very horrific. Acrobatic reality. I'm sure that Steward's master will be wetting himself when he knows you're after him, Mystery. Mystery. Probably not, but that doesn't mean it can't be a thorn in his side. Peter Rivers. Slenderman. Still find that pronunciation funny. Slenderman. Please, my fear of him was eradicated years ago. Anonymous. I have no problem with a Slender Man, except that he's killing off my food supply. Anonymous 2. If you're all bickering so much, then how do you get anything done? Anonymous 3. Sorry then. The Shadow? I guess they just manage everything by luck, skill, and intelligence while bickering. So now Anonymous and the Shadow will have the Bane voice. She shows me nothing. I have watched her and watched her and watched her, and still I have not seen anything out of the ordinary. Why doesn't she show me? Why doesn't she show me why? And those two idiots, Glorious and Asadia, yeah, they're back, the ghost wannabes. All they do is yap and talk and kiss and yap. I had to spend a plane trip sitting next to them just so I could keep an eye on Emily, and I was almost ready to throw myself into the sky by the time we got to North Carolina. They kiss and they hold hands and make googly eyes at each other. These are the ultimate killing machines Master created? These two fucking lovesick puppies? Oh god, they hold each other's hands all the time. Who the fuck do they think they are? Stupid fucking Emily shows nothing. Still got those drawings of hers. It's time to make her remember what exactly is at stake. Steward. The Shady Lady. That's cute, lovesick little things. Someone is losing their temper. Have you considered she shows you nothing because she wishes to remember nothing? Proceeding with life as if what troubled her never existed, putting forth a front to the world around her so that it/they may never see what is within her mind, never see what troubles lay within her past? Boring to you, curious to me. You should try taking an interest in your targets. You can discover more if you just open your eyes further. She might just be telling you more than you realize. Of course, that's just me. I'm not there. I'm not stalking her. You seem capable enough to read body language and see through it. The likes. Whether you are actually someone who is aware on how to decipher it is still yet to be known. Don't scare the poor dear too badly, Steward. Fear makes people do stupid and crazy things like love. Shady. And that's what I've been experimenting with in Rapture. The Shadow? I agree with the Shady Lady. Fear and love are the two forces that can overturn reality if you are careless with their use. But they can also be great tools. Knox. Don't forget hate. Memory jogged. Emily went out to dinner with her family last night. Isn't that sweet? So while she was out, I crept into her room, all those papers in hand, and taped them all over her walls. Gave her quite a fright when she got home. And now she knows. She won't ever be free. Yeah. When I got back to the hotel we were staying in, I found Glorious and Asadia. Well, suffice to say, it was extremely embarrassing all around. Honestly, they're so stupid they can't figure out that if they really did have advanced senses, that what they were doing would really fucking hurt. Steward. 6 comments. This is a pretty funny comment. Is that what proxies do now? Tape paper to walls? Martin B. Ah, so they were doing the beast with 2 backs. The horizontal tango. The sex. Love you, alliterator. Can you not let these lovebirds alone? Or at least give them funny nicknames? LMFAO, favorite comment ever. Thanks for adding to my vocab repertoire. If you didn't know about the Beast with Two Backs, then you need to read more. Peter Rivers. I love you, Stu. Aww. Lovers. Achromatic morality. Actually, right after I said that, I love alliterator. Oh, God. Achromatic morality. You should let them play with knives or something. You could join in, too. The Shadow. Proxies do any tasks their master wants them to do. Any tasks their master wants them to do. They range from gathering information, delivering messages, and stalking to fighting for your master and even dying for him or her. I agree with Achromatic. Those two need to die. Otherwise they might prove to be more dangerous than all the fears and other paranormal entities together. How? How would two people in love be more dangerous than all the fears and other paranormal entities put together? How? What are you on? Fearless. I had Glorious and Asadia watch her, conspicuously. She's seen them. She knows that she's being watched. It's starting to get to her. I had them break her window in the middle of the night, pulling her from her sleep. I had them hunt down animals and leave the corpses in her pillow. I've written notes to her, full of threats and taunts. She's terrified. She believes she will die soon. She's afraid that no one will believe her, but still she soldiers on, and still I've found no evidence of why the compulsion does not affect her. I only have a few more days to work with her, so I'd turn things up a notch. Steward. Martin B. Do you know how this compulsion works? Is it just that people are compelled to write about what happens to them in a public forum? And why? What will be the point of that? Steward. These are the questions I'm trying to find the answer to. Achromatic morality. The compulsion is almost certainly a myth. However, if Steward's master is a mimetic being, or a tulpa, then the purpose of the compulsion would be to spread the knowledge of it, to give the sender a mimetic edge over its competitors without it. Anonymous. So, tulpas thrive off of being known? Necessary evil. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to enjoy killing in order to serve master. I dislike killing. Even my family, which was an act of mercy really, still haunts my dreams. When I find myself in a position where killing is necessary, I do it quickly, with little fanfare. Best to get it over with. I don't stand around and gloat about it and revel in it. That would be most inefficient. Unfortunately, sometimes even the option of a quick kill is, for one reason or another, undesirable. This is why, for the first time, I actually find myself grateful that I've got these two morons with me. Yes, revenants are delusional imbeciles, but at least they enjoy their work, and have I got a job for them? Emily's parents will die. She will come home, and she will find their corpses propped up in the dining room. She will find their stomachs cut out and placed in their plates. She will find their own ribs in their hands and a macabre imitation of dining utensils. She will find their blood used as paint to leave Master's mark upon the walls, so that there can be no doubt in her mind about who did this. I want her shaking uncontrollably. I want her in the depths of despair, dancing on the brink of madness. My deadline for information about the compulsion is fast approaching, and if this doesn't get her to reveal any information, then I don't know what will. Steward. Mystery. That's a little over the top. I think you're going to push into suicide before I get her to talk. Achromatic morality. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Zed. What an unsophisticated tactic. You serve Slender and your best tactic is a mock dining scene? Any human killer could pull that off. Knowing proxies, you'll probably do it wrong. You woodworms can't even tie your shoes out, Slender, looking over your shoulder. Jay. You're an asshole. What about his asshole? Fuck you. Fuck every single one of your dirty, filthy, disgusting non-human kind. You will burn in the fiery pits of hell when you die. Achromatic morality. Jay, you can't call humanity non-human. Everyone dies, and is condemned to the ultimate purgatory that awaits. As for you, Steward, you're having fun with this. You're having fun with this, aren't you? Tee-hee. Steward. Jay, please, you wound me. And Acro, it is not really all that fun. I nearly lost my lunch while I was observing my two revenant friends carrying out what I described here. Perhaps I shall elaborate more in that next post. Anonymous. Why do you need such an elaborate description of the murder? It makes me hungry. R.S. P.S. I've commented before, but only feel like signing these now. Interrogation. Well, this has been fairly pointless. I had Glorious and Acedia perform the operation I described in my previous post, and of course I had to supervise to make sure they got everything right. Let me tell you, watching them work was absolutely disgusting. I nearly threw up when the stomachs came out, but thankfully I managed to hold it in. I wanted to decorate the dining room with blood, not vomit after all. That's pretty funny. As for those two idiots, I think they quite enjoyed themselves. Really enjoyed themselves. As in, they looked like they were about to tear each other's clothes off right then and there when they were finished. I put a stop to that nonsense quickly. As I've just stated, blood is the only bodily fluid I intended to have splattered about. Well, blood and bile, I suppose. I did have them rip their parents' stomachs out, but I digress. Anyway, Emily didn't take her parents' death well. Poor thing. When she saw the dining room, she just froze. Did nothing but stand there for nearly half an hour, whimpering. Then, without a word, she turned and headed into the kitchen. I was hidden in the shadows, concealed by a slightly open portal to Masher's path. I followed her to the kitchen, where she picked up a steak knife and held it to her throat. And then my hand was upon hers, gently but firmly pushing the blade away from her, and I pulled her toward me. I was standing behind her, and leaned down and whispered in her ear, "Hello, Emily. My name is Stewart." She screamed. She struggled. She cried. She tried so hard to break free. I called in Glorious and Acedia to restrain her, and we traveled through the path to an abandoned building somewhere in Appalachia. Not sure where. It's an old cabin in the woods. Mashy told me of its location. Anyway, we tied her up, and once her voice was hoarse enough that she couldn't scream anymore, I started asking her questions. "Do you know who I work for?" She nodded. "Who?" She closed her eyes, and her voice was scratchy and barely a whisper. "The Slender Man." "So you were familiar with that term. Where did you hear it?" "The internet." "The blogosphere?" She nodded. I smiled at her. "I do apologize, Miss Rivera, but this is extremely important. I do regret what had to be done to your family, but, and trust me when I say this, we have actually spared them from a much worse fate." Truth, all of it, but I don't think she believed me. She just looked at me. I don't think even she knew whether she felt empty or furious. "Why did you ever make a blog, Emily?" What? You saw those other blogs, did you not? People whom my master has marked. Why did you never make one of your own?" I don't... As you can imagine, I never got a satisfactory answer. Poor Emily is just too confused and scared and exhausted. I've tried everything from hospitality to enhanced interrogation, and I still do not know why she never felt a compulsion. Did whatever caused it simply pass her by? I'm thinking that might be it. But before I simply write this off, I still have one little trick up my sleeve. I have with me a bottle of Master's very special pills, and I'm sure that after taking them, Emily will be in a much more pleasant mood and be much more willing to talk. Yeah. Those of you who have been following my story since Eccentrically bored will know what I'm talking about. You charmer, you. So if Slender Man supplied those pills, someone has been playing a long game. I'm sorry. Nobody sounds scary when they say blogosphere. Perhaps a different word? The inner blag? The blaganet? The blagablag? Well, whatever the name, it still sounds silly. It's a good thing I was trying to reassure her then, genius. I find myself wishing to join you in watching one of your interrogations. Your professional approach reflects well upon him. You're one of the rare ones within his ranks worthy of respect. Could have just let the poor girl kill herself. If I was here, I would have ended it right there. But you guys don't give people the pleasure of ending their life, do you? You make their lives miserable, putting them into a repeated circle, stalk them, make them fight, kill them. I've been here for over a year and I haven't died, gotten attacked, or had anything bad happen to me. And do you know why? Because I really don't care. I sit, I read every blog, watch every vlog, and I just laugh. I laugh, knowing in the end it's all futile because the proxies will die of old age and the fighters will die because of you guys. In the end, it's all just a game to some sort of fucking faceless killer. Anyway, Stewart, you were correct, Jay. It is a game, and the best thing we can do is accept our roles in it, because in the end we are nothing but pieces. I laugh because you don't know how to use punctuation. If this is a game, humanity lost a long time ago. We spent the last year or so having the board beaten into our faces. Nonsense. How could humanity have lost when it was never playing? The the pawns, bishops, rooks, they cannot win or lose. The titles of winner and loser belong to the players and the players alone. Humanity will never be in the game. Damn it, I just lost the game. If you weren't in the game, you would have lost a long time ago. All we have to do is conquer our fears, right? Shut up, Peter. You're talking out of your ass. Peter isn't wrong. The less you fear them, the more their power shrinks and their sphere of influence becomes smaller. They can't propagate anymore if none fear them. By the way, humanity is playing the great game. They are the source of fear, they're the base of pawns like Stewart and fight against their fated runners, scientists and special agents. Without humanity, the great game wouldn't even exist. Steward, I want to ask you, why do you think humans can't harm Slendy? I just never really tried to do so in all the multiverses. What do you think I am trying to achieve by traveling from time to time, from world to world? I am trying to get them to stand up for themselves, to actively play the great game, instead of just watching their certain doom unfold in front of their eyes without doing anything against it. If they manage to gather and fight as one, they will be able to destroy good old Slendy and all the other fears with him without a problem. They just need to defeat their innermost fears, especially the fear of the unknown, which is the oldest and strongest fear of mankind. With us their root, the fears will disappear. God damn it. More. Every time I say all of the above, no one believes me, and all of you inevitably fail at your tasks. This is starting to drive me crazy. Ugh! I have watched this whole scenario about 1,000,000 times, and nothing ever changes. Every time it ends with a burning rapture and the amalgam destroying everything. What are you talking about? You're right about the amalgam destroying everything. But, well, no, you're not even right about the amalgam destroying everything. That's not in every fucking story. I mean, the whole point of the ending to the Amalgam Saga is that their universe dies so that other ones can live. So right there, a contradiction. And a burning rapture. Do you not... The story's not even over now. It wasn't over then either. You don't know if it's gonna end with a burning rapture. Okay, I will admit, it does seem like it's gonna, and I have been trying to write it so it would suggest it. I've been trying to make it as depressing as possible. But, just... Jesus! Maybe I should thank Shackleball for creating one world where at least the rapture was prevented, and for finding another where their chances of success are even better. I should start to actively intervene in the next world. Goodbye. I won't speak to you again in this timeline of this world. You're... Yeah. Sums up my thoughts. Time's up. I must say, after I forced some pills down her throat, Emily was much more pleasant to chat with. She smiled and she didn't whimper or curse, and she answered all my questions politely and clearly. Granted, the pills also made her a bit ditzy, most unattractive quality, I must say, but I suppose it couldn't be helped. It's such a shame that no new information could be gleaned. She encountered Master, but she never felt the compulsion. End of story. Now, I do have a notebook full of my observations of her, and if I ever get the chance to keep watch over someone who does suffer from compulsion, I'm certain I could compare notes and pull something out. But unfortunately, I have a serial killer to track. My time with Mr. Vera has come to an end. Master showed up this morning, and I felt a very firm command in my mind to leave this research for now and go find out who's been killing servants. And Master turned his attention to my guess. His suit became, I guess blacker would be the best way to describe it. He usually seems at least superficially like fabric, but when he looked at it, Emily, it became a void. A vast expanse of pure blackness that began to seep out, away from his form into the world around him. Have you ever dropped a bit of black dye into a glass water and watched it spread out with swirling tendrils? That's basically what happened. That blackness traveled across the air and wrapped around Emily's head. I heard her scream, but the sound was soon cut off as the tendrils poured into her mouth. Her nostrils, her ears, her tear ducts. The blackness entered into her and demolished what was there. What could not be destroyed was removed, and Emily is hollowed out so that nothing but a shell remained. The blackness retreated, and the creature that was once Emily Rivera stood, its expression completely black. Master held a pale hand out to her. His suit returned to normal, and she took it. Together they vanished, leaving nothing behind but the command in my mind to head south to Mobile, where the most recent attacks had occurred. Well then, I guess it's time to get to work. Steward.
Hello, Joey Stewart. We are glad to see that you are well.
No. No! Get the fuck off this block! Get the fuck out of our account, you shit!
We did not intend offense. Enemies change. The game is never static. We have allied with a stranger now.
No. You're one of the reasons Stewart is like this now. GTFO. How very amusing. Stewart is the reason Stewart is as he is, that you cannot truly forsake and transcend. Your past is a sign of weakness. I am not weak. I am his steward. I was chosen. I cannot be weak. Just die. All of you just fucking die. Master will tear you to pieces. I'll kill you myself. I'll send Glorious and Anastasia to tear your fucking spines out. Die, 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 die. Whoa. I think somebody pushes berserk button, guys. As for what you did to Emily, do you really have no pity left? No sympathy for your victims? Are you just a complete sociopath now? Because in your other blog, you seem to genuinely care. Or maybe you just care about other things now. A little excitement to brighten your day, Maybe perhaps you just need to cool down for a little, Well, here's a half-positive comment from me. Thank you ever so much on how the holification process goes. Now I can write it down. I find this blog a rare chance to observe. This is rather interesting, poor girl. Interesting. It's good to know how the Slenderman operates. Guess the staring at her rules didn't help her. Sweet home Alabama, where the sky was blue. Yes, Mobile is fucking hot. We've been investigating the deaths. One servant was murdered in a hotel room. No evidence of who did it. Another one was found in the middle of the backwards road. No evidence of who did it. So that's 2 dead people and no leads for either. Also, I think I may have insulted Glorious. He keeps giving me these looks. Sorry, pardon me. And at one point he told me right out of the blue, I'm not an idiot. Think he's reading this blog? Anyway, I've got an investigation to run. Before I go, I would like to apologize for my rude and unprofessional behavior in the comments section the other day. I should not have written those horrible things. If Master wishes to ally himself with the Archangel, then who am I to object? No one, that's who. Humans don't matter in the end. We are all no one. Steward. Could be worse. The entire world is a game, one in which we have already lost. To call humans pawns overestimates their worth, as pawns are perhaps the most decisive piece on the chessboard. Care to elaborate? Because the only similarities I see between them is that they all move like sheep and pretty much worthless. Or more like the king. Fucking useless and gives up easily.
We are glad that you accepted the choice, Steward, and this was never a game of chess. It's far too complex. Only the puppeteer can force the pieces to move. We others must coax or use no pieces at all. It is much more challenging, more satisfying.
More like Monopoly, just fucking end it. The puppets are falling apart, what a shame. The new game awaits, the high mind awaits. Are you afraid you will die, Mr. Steward? Or us. Oh hey, Avatar, still decrepit? This is a long blog. Then again, that's probably hypocritical of me to say since I arrived after. Last night I received a note asking me to please come to some restaurant called Steak and Shake this morning. Some restaurant called Steak and Shake? Even I know what Steak and Shake is. But then again, I grew up in Georgia. The author claimed to have information relevant to me. I miss Steak and Shake. Oh my... That was loud. I miss Steak and Shake. I miss the cheesy fries, the shakes, the burgers. Especially the cheesy fries, oh my god. Those are good cheesy fries. I always got them wherever I went. Needless to say, I went to the restaurant with a gun in my jacket, which is frickin' hell given how hot it is here, and a knife hidden in my person. It wasn't hard to pick out who would contact me. Weird guy with really wet black hair and vaguely blank expression who was staring right at me. Oh joy. A camper. I look forward to this. I seated myself across the booth from my friend. It was a corner booth, away from everyone else. This body, the camper said. Its former owner liked this place very much. Even now, this tongue finds a taste here quite pleasurable. Good for your tongue, I said. What does the ichor want from me? He smiled. It wasn't genuine. There was no warmth, no mirth. It was like someone had drawn a smile in his face. It existed without any real meaning. Nowadays, people are calling us the Epinocratarchus. And nowadays, people are calling us the Evolutionary Average Trigger. That's nice. I think I'll stick with ichor. That's what Master calls you. It. All you hive mind tentacle thingies. We are quite partial to it. It forms a lovely acronym. Eat. We were given the name by... I'm well aware of the adventures of Jordan Dueling. Well, you were given Epinocratarchus by Sam. But, yeah. I waved my hand around. You tend to stay out of the game. Why the sudden interest in my investigation? We have information. As the humans say, quid pro quo. Tit for tat. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. We give you this, and then you owe us a favor. I mean, like, I think I personally would I would personally write it more like I give you this and then you owe me a favor. Because I love having it be one single character that just simply has a million bodies, but oh well. Would this favor involve consuming water by any chance? Water? No, of course not. Ink? The fake smile again. The camper reached into his pocket and drew out a slip of paper. "Hello, Joseph Stewart," he said. "This is a nice conversation. Your words—" "Don't do that, please." He shrugged. It was a calculated gesture. The shrug of a bored actor half-assing his performance. "We were simply lightening the mood. Humor. Dark humor. Making light of that which is serious." He put the paper on the table, along with 3 20s. "Enjoy your food," he said. "Your meal is on me." With that, the camper stood and left the restaurant. I checked the paper. It was a flyer for a magic act. Something else had been written on it. "You've got to be fucking kidding me," I muttered. "A traveling magic act. No wonder the killings are all over the place." Steward. "I'm glad you think this is just a game, idle child. Until death do us part, we will save you from the tallest one, Stewie." I was kind of being a bit like Yogi Bear there. "Until death do us part, we will save you from the tallest one, Stewie. A bear's gotta do what a bear's gotta do." I don't know what the hell that was. The Adventures of Jordan Dooling sounds like a show in Nickelodeon. Yeah! That's awesome. So, a camper. This is obviously not someone who goings camping. And something called Ecor, which sounds icky. But hey, magic. I love magic. Pull a rabbit out of my hat any day, if I had a hat. "Hello, Steward. What do you want with a person from Quiet Cacophony?" An anonymous fox. "We're getting in far too deep. My skin is itching. I want to go that badly." Interesting. I need to learn more about Slendy and the Fear Mythos. Icor sounds like a pretentious— Shut up! You sound like a pretentious prick. Thinking you're better than it? You're a dick. What the hell, guys? Like, something I don't get about people's use of the word pretentious. Do you know what pretentious means? Pretentious means that you think you're better than other people. It's like condescending. And where in this does it suggest that it thinks that it's better than everyone else? Well, it does. It does think that. But where does it suggest that? I mean, it tries to be humble. It tries to do the comedy. Where would you get... You're just a... What have you written? What have you written? What have you written? Gray is my color. Endeavors of an elementalist. What have you written, huh? Gray is my color. That's it. Right. I just... Right. Endeavors of an elementalist. What about this? Well... I'll be polite. I'll just publicly say that both of your blogs use default layouts, which implies laziness. So, boom! The grand game. It appears that some of you are having difficulty understanding how the game works. Not that I blame you. Humans are arrogant creatures. As a species, we have difficulty accepting the idea that we are not the most important things in the world. Many of you seem to believe that humanity can somehow win or lose the grand game. This is false. I have said it before and I shall say it again. Victory and defeat are statuses that can only be awarded to the players. The pieces do not win. The pieces do not lose. I was in error to use chess terminology before. Humans are more like the pieces of a checkers board. Not special or significant, merely tools, but a select few may prove more important to others, but in the end, even they must be cast aside. See, I like that. I like that you're saying it's not like chess, because I'm sick of hearing about fucking chess motifs. It's one of the most overused motifs out there. There are over 6 billion people alive in the world today. I doubt many of you can even comprehend such a huge number. How many do you suppose will be remembered 500 years from now? Most likely you can count that number on your fingers. The entities play the grand game against one another. Well, I mean, 500 years ago, like, the people from 500 years ago, I think we can remember more than 10. I think it would be only more so because, well, 500 years ago there wasn't as much information being saved as there is today. But anyway, the entities play the grand game against one another, and we humans are merely the tools for that game. Zero, Zeke, Peter Rivers, even the self-styled sage Sweet Robin. None of you really matter in the end. You are just the pieces being moved by something far greater. I have accepted this. Why can none of you? Anyway, I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow. I'll be there for a few days, so toodles. Atlanta! That's where I grew up. Well, no, I grew up in Sandy Springs, but Sandy Springs is a suburb of Atlanta. At least it was for a while, but it became its own city / town. We're monopoly money. I have already long since come to terms with the conditions of the game. To deny it its existence would, of course, be foolish. As the pieces on the board, we must each move to guarantee a fitting end for ourselves. If this means following the whims of a greater being, do so. The hell with that. I'm not a game piece. These players need us to play their game. I never agreed to any of that BS. This is going on far too long. I'm not scared anymore. I'm pissed off. Let these players come and show themselves. While I doubt it'll do much, all they'll get is a face full of buckshot. I'll keep throwing things at them until something works. Like I said before, I'm not running. How do you know that we're being moved by something far greater? If you ask me, it's not so great. The Slenderman ain't that great. What's so great about it? I know you proxies worship Slenderman like a deity. Is he the one moving us? You're making claims that you can't prove. I don't care if no one remembers me. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter if no one remembers me or you, so what we do from then on just depends on our morals. And I don't know about you, but joining up with a serial killer isn't very moral to me. Master indeed is one of the players, but there are others. Many others, and each possesses its own method when it comes to moving pieces. Any info on those other players, or are you enjoying being secretive? I never was being secretive. The information is all right here in this blog. Perhaps you'd like to read through it sometime. Unless, of course, that's too much work. Steward, what are you planning to do with Quiet Cacophony? You seem interested. I have no interest in Welshman, Mr. Vox. That's pretty funny. All this post did to me was make me lose the game. High-fiving the microphone. A new game awaits. The High Mind awaits. May I ask who you are, High Mind? Are you a new field wannabe? Or us? Gah. Why do the players need us to be the pieces? Can't they just make things to play with? Well, maybe they made us. And do people not think practically? Like, maybe... whatever. Hello. Hey everyone, Gloria's here. You know, that revenant that Stuart likes to blabmouth? I'm here to set the record straight. We are not idiots and we are not lovesick puppies. She's special to me. I've never known anyone quite like her. When I'm with her, I can forget about everything that's wrong with the world and just be at peace. I can't explain, I'm not good with words. It just makes me forget all the bad things, you know? And there are a lot of bad things in the world. Hell, I'm proof of that. Me and Ace both lost our families in the WTC attack. That's when the tall one took us and made us what we are. Unaging? I don't know. Unaging abominations. But that's how we met each other. I like this life. I love this life. As long as I have Ace. Don't worry about Stewart. He's got a stick up his ass. Yeah, but he's only human. Even if he wants to pretend otherwise. I heard you're sobbing to yourself in your sleep, Stu. Take my advice. You need to get laid. To all you runners, I'm sorry I had to be this way. You don't deserve what you've been through. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. Stewart will probably be pissed when he sees I made a post here. He'll probably do some extreme things. But as long as Ace is with me, I'm fine. Aww. All those who run deserve to be chased. What do you want? You're kind of a loser for someone who works for the Slender Man. It's kind of funny because I can understand, like, Glorious is an understandable character now that he's had this post. So, like, well, I think you need to get laid is probably the best way to sum it up, because I'm not trying to be pretentious here. I haven't been laid myself. I'm just saying that conveys that, well, I feel like it was a big subplot of Eccentrically Bored, that Joseph was so lonely, and that he freaking groped Crystal when he was drunk. He really did need to get laid. So it makes sense that he would still be like that. There'll be a character flaw of him. So like, that seems like, in the context of the story, if that's a character flaw of Joseph, then that means that this is a character who doesn't have that flaw, so this is a better character in terms of, in that specific sense. He's still got his own flaws, of course, but, so just, like, this guy is a guy who actually seems happy with things, and actually seems really agreeable. I like him. I mean, he's even being polite about it, except for what he said about Stewart. But I mean, to be fair, Stewart was much worse to him. So, I don't know. And just like, why the hostility? Jesus. And, like, you know who the real losers are? The people who comment on blogs. More than I do, that is. Because, like, 1 or 2 comments is understandable. But commenting on every post, let the writer write his story. Don't try to game jack. Atlanta. Currently in Atlanta, it appears that Glorious decided to use my computer while I was out and about. He has been reprimanded, severely. It's quite a shame that he'd be so insubordinate. After I went through the trouble of buying us all tickets to the magic show, too. Not that it matters, really. Most of what I told you about himself is a lie anyway. So Atlanta's a city, and what the hell else do you expect me to tell you? City. Loud and full of concrete. Not much else. Even southern drawls aren't that common here. Fucking city folk don't make a perfectly good accent. And fucking city folk don't make a perfectly good accent. Atlanta? Atlanta? Good. It would be awkward for me to see in Jersey. I don't know what accent that was. The Killer. Last night was certainly eventful. We went to a magic show performed by a rather corny and overdramatic illusionist calling himself the Magnificent Dr. Grant. What a stupid name. His tricks were all fairly basic and transparent illusions, although there was one interesting one where he walked through a wall. But now that's important. I like that. I like that a lot. There's one interesting one where he walked through a wall. But now that's important. I noticed that there was a man a few seats in front of us who kept glancing behind him, looking straight at me. Sure enough, he turned out to be a plant that the Magnificent Dr. Grant had in the audience. We got called up to do some ridiculous trick. I can't remember which, but I suspected I found my killer. After the show, we kept a close eye in the theater and saw the plant among the people who moved out and hid it for a nearby hotel. At around 1 in the morning, we saw him sneak out of the hotel and head through the city. Naturally, we followed him. It wasn't long before he saw us. Instead of running, he actually stopped and waited. "You're him, aren't you?" he called out to me as I approached. "The one who calls himself Stewart. I was told you'd come for me." "Told?" I asked. "Told by who?" He seemed confused. "I don't know. I don't know. Go away. I can't stop myself. Just go away." "Can't stop yourself?" I asked. "Now what could you mean by that?" "I feel a need. I don't know. Go away." It sounded like the compulsion in action. Interesting. It was directing him to kill. It's alright, I called out. "I'm here to help free you. What's your name?" "It's call me Slate." "Alright then, Slate. It's okay, I can help." No, just go away, please." He spun around and ran. I cursed and ran after him, Glorious in the city right behind me. A door appeared, and Slate ran through it. It vanished as it closed. So he is welcome within the city. That means that an entity has put its mark on him. And if that truly was a compulsion that led him to do those things, it seems that somebody has been playing a very careful game. So, proxy versus serial killer. Who to root for? Well, as the tagline to Alien vs. Predator went, whoever wins, we lose. Frank. Slightly annoying. Hey, I like that. "I'm in full support of Slate. Any other fear is better than..." Hello.
Would you like a jacket potato
I would love a
with
jacket.
cheese?
I would love a jacket potato with cheese. Thank you. "Any other fear is better than the Slender Man. He's kind of a jackass." Right. God damn. Joyzy. Slate decided to ditch the rest of the magic act when they hopped in a plane. It wasn't until after I had already trailed the rest of the group to Tennessee that I discovered my target had caught a flight to New Jersey. So I spent most of the day searching for him. It's actually pretty difficult, seeing as I don't have anything more specific than New Jersey to go on concerning the location. That's a lot of ground to cover, and I doubt he's staying still. Anyway, if anyone happens to be in America's least favorite state and is no same serial killers with magic in their brain running around, feel free to tell me. I thought Mississippi was America's least favorite state. He caught a plane to a giant hole in the ground when he could have stayed in his little city thing? I'll never understand you people. Your target is Glassman? You son of a bitch. So, New Jersey isn't just a dumping ground for mooks. It's a dumping ground for mooks and mooks. Hey, Steward. The new sages are meeting in Jersey. Keep that in mind while they're there. Dante, what? No, did you fail reading comprehension in grammar school or something? Morningstar. New Jersey does seem rather popular these days. It's like ley lines for losers. Right after I'm finished saying not to go there. Stay far away from me and Hunter, Steward. Lord knows what that bear man would do to you if he saw you and your master. The high mind awaits. Who the hell are you?
I'm going to assume your brain and a jar with drugs constantly being pumped into it. I also think you said that in the last post. That's all Mind's been saying. Philosophical discussion. I love how this post, a philosophical discussion starts with New Jersey sucks. I was hoping that we'd at least end up having to question some MTV wannabe douches, but most of our search thus far has been in the rural areas of the state, and people in rural areas are just too damn nice to get any enjoyment out of hurting. Anyway, here's something interesting that happened today. I was standing out on the porch of an old abandoned house in the middle of nowhere, which we had claimed as a temporary base of operations. I was lost in thought. What I was thinking about wasn't important, when I suddenly became aware that Acedia was standing right behind me. Anything interesting happen? I asked her. Not really, she said. I was just wondering about something. Good for you. Did it hurt? Did it hurt? What? I turned around to face her. She's a pale, skinny little thing, but not without her charms. I can almost see why Glorious is so enthralled by her. Almost. When you were made into what you are, did that hurt? When I didn't answer, she continued. For us, it hurt. By the time it was over, we were almost begging for death. Then we just heard these words in our head. Soon enough. That was it. I was so terrified of what would happen next, and yet some part of me, some new, horrifying part of me, was thrilled. She leaned against the wall of the house and looked me right in the eyes. You're not like us, though. What was it like for you? Relatively painless, I told her. You're right. I'm not like you. Master didn't need to make any major alterations with me. I have just enough of his essence to hear his voice and feel his presence. I have his mark on me, so I can walk the path and enter the city, but otherwise I'm just a normal human. Why? I guess it's because my purpose wasn't to be an exterminator, unlike you. She was quiet for a moment. So it doesn't bother you? She finally asked. That were monsters? A monster is an abnormality, I told her, turning my back to her. It is unnatural. Do you know what is natural? The grand game. They play with human lives, and that is the way it should be. Those humans who rebel against them are the unnatural ones. And they go as far as to declare their own moral superiority for fighting against some perceived evil, even as they thoughtlessly kill people just like them, whose only crime was to fall under their sway. Even without them, the humans would still wage war and destroy everything in their path. The game, in fact, limits human destruction. So in truth, I turned back around, and this time it was my turn to look her in the eyes. We are not the monsters. The runners, though, abominations. That's a really interesting point. Shit. I like that. I commend you, Lizardbite. That's a really nice way to put it. She smirked. She almost seemed amused. I'm just a huge fan of anything that suggests the fears aren't evil. Anything that suggests that they're just... well, there's more potential for them than just horror. That's a twisted way of looking at it. I shrugged. Everything's twisted. The world is a being of chaos operating under the pretense of order. The only constant is the grand game, and even that is constantly shifting. The game is the only thing you can trust. I smiled. And considering how you and your boy toy get off on killing, you really aren't in a position to lecture me on morality. Unlike some people I could name, we didn't choose this path. I left there and went for a walk. I don't know why I even bother. Simpletons like her will never understand. What? That was an interesting conversation. Like, even the way that it ended. That was... wow. Oh my god, that was nice. That was complex and that was nice. Wow. Hunter.
Hey! Who do you think you are, punk? Peter told me all about you. And he ain't ever gonna kick your ass, bro. All you make me want to do is take another shot of this delicious booze.
I thank you for taking the time out of your no doubt busy and important schedule to leave a comment on my vlog. This has truly been an enlightening experience. Please do not kick my ass too hard as I require it for sitting.
Nah, bro, you're gonna have to beg for your life, man. Nah, even if you beg, I'm gonna take your legs and put them washes behind your fucking head. Your head! You won't need to sit anymore, man. Goddamn Irishman, you won't shut up.
My head? Really? Well, it is my sad duty to inform you that my legs are already located behind my head. The head of my penis, that is. I felt the need to explain that lest it sail right over your head, the one in your shoulders.
What? We got heads in our peewees now? Hold on, let me open my zipper and then you can check for me.
I'm not sure I'm qualified for that. Fun thing, I don't have a microscope on hand at the moment. I smell a bird. I'm sorry, Steward. Hunter won't bother you anymore. Tell Master the plan is still on. Heard all. Oh, well thank you, strange commenter, whose identity I cannot at all hazard a guess to.
Oh, Lord, Hunter.
Who left that strange comment? Charlotte?
Do you use spirits as game pieces?
So yeah, that was interesting. I kind of like Hunter. Okay, so we're about 25 posts in. Yeah. 26. Wait. 23. 23 posts. I can do math. We're 23 posts in, and there's at least 46 more to go. Oh god, I'm gonna take a short break, because I've got dinner soon anyway. And then we'll continue and we'll finish this.